Right now, Steam Next Fest is going on. So on this episode of Playlog, we're talking about all the demos that we've played so far. Hey guys, CJB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't talk indie games alone because that's so boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid himself, Tofr. It's poppin', homie.
I am playing demos. I am playing all of the demos. There are just so many demos.
So many demos. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because I have you in the red. I turned up my desktop audio too loud today.
Oh, no.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. We're golden. We're golden. Oh, man. Yeah. This is our first of what will end up being 2 Steam Next Fest videos. So I hope you guys like hearing us talk about demos because this happens twice a year. There should always be 4 Steam Next Fest episodes, even when there's only 2 events. So there's always the part where I'm like, maybe should we be like, hey guys, new episode this week. It'll be next week, or we just have a 4-hour episode. Or it's like, man, do people want a 2 back-to-back episode? We'll see. Maybe we'll test the waters with next Fest and see if that plays. But honestly, we're talking about games. It doesn't matter. People love it. We love it. We are people.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, man. But before we get to all the demos we've been playing, really quick reminder, as part of a podcast, we'll be doing our monthly book club. We go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. And for the month of March, we'll be playing Celeste. Help Madeline survive her inner demons on her journey to the top of Celeste Mountain in this super tight platformer from the creators of Towerfall. Brave hundreds of handcrafted challenges, uncover devious secrets, and piece together the mystery of the mountain. Play the game this month on your preferred platform, then head over to our write-in form in the description. Give us your thoughts on Celeste for our March 25th episode of Playlog Podcast. You can join us live at twitch.tv/CJB for the discussion, or catch the upload just a few days later on youtube.com/CGDannyB. I'm fairly certain, I know this one's on PS Plus, so if you have the PS Plus catalog, you can play it on PlayStation. I do not know if it's still on Game Pass. I have not checked. We have to do a quick little search on that one. But also Celeste, like at this point, just buy the damn game, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
You can play it anywhere. I wonder if I even have it on the PS Vita. Did it release back?
Oh god, that seems like one that could have come out on the Vita, but I'm think
not sure though.
Celeste was 2017. Hold on, Celeste Vita ? Vita hacks. Hold on, I'm seeing a Reddit thing. 18 plus. What? Go back. I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want to go in here.
It is on PC Game Pass, by the way.
Okay, cool.
I'm guessing Xbox as well.
I'm going to assume, yeah. So usually if it's on both, I think it's on both parts of the catalog. So yes, it should be on Game Pass too. So go play some Celeste. It's a good thing to do. However, that's that. Boom. There's your intro. Timestamps. No writing questions this week, so let's just hop right into the quick indie news. We got 3 little snippety bits. The first one being Annapurna is having a publisher sale after their showcase this week. Not too much to really talk about, just there's some games on sale. Some of the important ones that I noted, there was Lorelei and the Laser Eye. Right now it's $18.74, down from $24.99. We have Stray, which is $17 from $29.99. Cocoon, which is $14.99 from $24.99. And then What Remains of Edith Finch, $4.99, down from $19.99. So there's a bunch of deals. This is just the first couple few that I grabbed. If you like your Annapurna games, there's some good ones over there, so be sure to grab them on Steam. I was gonna ask if there's any games you're like, oh, should I grab these? I don't know how many Annapurna games we don't own.
I do own quite a lot of them. I don't own Cocoon though, but I played that on Game Pass and it wasn't really my thing.
Tofr.
I think it just made me feel a bit stupid, and I don't like that.
We're gonna fix it. We're going to cancel Celeste. We're doing Cocoon this month. Okay. I'm changing your pick. No, I get it. I had played it like right when it came out, so it was still like super light on tutorials or anything, and I was like, this one puzzle has me fucking stuck. I don't know what to do. And then eventually I was just, let's just move things until it happens, and that's exactly what it did. It just eventually it worked. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I like Cocoon. Cocoon's really cool. I think they just announced at the Annapurna showcase they're doing their like vinyl and a collector's edition, which I don't think they showed the collector's edition. I was kind of watching on my phone as I was doing shit. So yeah, Cocoon's coming soon.
Yeah, I love how we included the sale, but not the showcase itself.
That's true. That's true. I'll be real. There were a lot of showcases this week, none of which I actually got to sit down and watch. because they were all just like, oh, you're doing something else? Our showcase is going on. I have them bookmarked. I've watched most of the Annapurna one. Again, just like, I'm taking the dog out. Oh, cool. They announced this. Oh, boy, look at this. Oh, a new update for Sayonara Wild Hearts. Crazy. You know, and then, like, whatever. And then I just haven't seen the ID at Xbox. I've been seeing all the notes about it. A new trailer for Moonlighter, which I've yet to watch. I'm going to watch the showcase soon. I know. I'm trying to stay sneaky about it. I want to watch the showcase. Oh, man. But I guess, let's jump around here. Speaking of ID at Xbox, we're going to skip an article and then come back up. The ID at Xbox showcase was this week, and they also announced 3 new indie game release dates, which I'm very excited for. We won't read the article, but this one comes from Will Shanklin over at Engadget. The 3 release dates that we got are 33 Immortals will be dropping in early access on March 18th for PC and Xbox. Blueprints will be dropping on April 10th for Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. It'll also be on PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass, so you can play it on there if you have both those subscriptions. And then the third one, which I am very excited for, is Revenge of the Savage Planet, which drops on March 18th for Steam, PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as Xbox. Oh my God! Tofr, we already said there's a lot of games coming out in March now. They just keep announcing new ones.
I can't How wait. Did they add Revenge of the Savage Planet as well?
I'm so excited. It was one of the few games I used to do like nomenclature, right? Which was the reviews. I stood in front of my stuff in my room, like, hey guys, I played this game and it was really fun. I watched Jacksepticeye play it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, wait, this looks really fun. I immediately bought it, played through it. I started playing it like the week they announced they dropped their DLC. So I was like, oh boy, I get to just keep playing. So that was really fun. I really liked Savage Planet. Hold on, was Revenge the first one? No. Is Revenge the sequel, right? No, yeah, Journey to the Savage Planet's the first
Revenge
one.
Is, yeah.
I was gonna say that sounds right, but why does Revenge sound like the first one? Yeah, Journey to the Savage Planet was great. I loved it, and now Revenge is third person, same kind of thing. I think there's co-op to it as well, so I'm very excited to play that one. I like the Savage Planet game, and I think they went through a bunch of hurdles of like closure and then studio buyout and then reopened the doors, and now they used to be Typhoon and now they are something else, so I can't think of what it is, but either way I want to play more of this game.
As long as they don't get sold to Warner Brothers, they'll be fine.
brother oh my God, Warner Brothers, dude.
But that's not indie.
It's not, but I still want to make fun of you guys. The Nemesis system, really? We're gonna gatekeep that? One of the coolest things you've ever done, and now you're just whatever, Warner Brothers, whatever. Do better.
And canceling the Wonder Woman game as well.
And canceling the Wonder Woman game, man. Listen, I can't say I was insanely excited for it. It was going to be one of those, like, when we finally see it, I'm like, oh, cool, can't wait to play this, right? And we just never fucking saw it. We never saw it. I'm getting a spam call. Shut the fuck up. So, man, that was frustrating, dude. I hate it, Warner Brothers. Do better.
Yeah.
Ugh. But anyway, yeah, Warner Brothers not indie. We just like to make fun of AAAs because they suck sometimes. But yeah, no, a bunch of games coming out in March, and then Blueprints in April, which I'm very excited for that one. And I guess anyone who doesn't know about Blueprints or 33 Immortals, Blueprints is this, like, I guess roguelike does it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you're like dropped into a mansion and the rooms will like randomly generate. You're trying to get from one point to the other and do all that stuff. It looks really cool. It's got like a fun, artsy, sketchy style to it. And then 33 Immortals is definitely a roguelike from the guy, Thunder Lotus, the guys who made Spirit. I was going to say Spirited Away. Spiritfarer, where it is basically just a Hades-esque roguelike run with up to 33 players in a lobby, which is... I played the first beta a while back. I've not played any of the other ones yet, but it's fun. I'm excited for it to release. And I want to say that one's supposed to be on Game Pass. It wasn't in the notes, though, so...
No idea.
Yeah. But yeah, those games are coming out.
Yeah. Also, we didn't mention it in the intro, but is your March video coming out before the weekend? Or
oh, yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, notifications on, you'll know if it's out. And if you're not, just go look for it. And if it's not there, check back in a couple days. It's tough. We got Steam Next Fest, and then not indie, but Monster Hunters this week, Tofr. Motherfucking Monster Hunter Wilds drops on Friday, dude. Ooh. I know it's Next Fest, but I gotta play some Monster Hunter. So it's gonna be a busy day. What do you want to listen? Monster Hunter's really fun. I really like Monster Hunter. You know what I mean? I get to beat up big monsters with a fucking hammer. I'm so excited. But yeah, so it's a busy week. We'll try and get some. I'll probably have a long night somewhere, but we'll see. But But yes, those games are coming out. Now let's hop back up here to another article where Balatro's PEGI rating has finally been changed. This one we'll give the article for. This one is from Andrew Rogers over at BBC. Let's see. One of 2024's most successful video games has hit its 18 plus rating, had its 18 plus rating overturned. Card game Balatro encourages players to build poker hands, but allows them to modify decks and use special Joker cards to boost their score. Game's classification body PEGI slapped the highest rating on the game, but its anonymous creator, Local Thunk, argued that it doesn't allow players to bet or even spend money within it. It'll now be reclassified as 12+. Another game, Luck Be a Landlord, has also been reclassified. PEGI, which works in the UK and across Europe, says it will now review its policies around gambling across all games. Let's see. Balatro is one of the 2024's breakout hits, made on a small budget but winning Best Indie Game at the Golden Joysticks and Best Mobile Game at the Game Awards. Its creator argued that the game's rating the age rating rules it faced were not consistent or fair, and called out PEGI's policies around loot boxes found in other games. These Lucky Dip cycle items contain new outfits, power-ups, or other bonuses and can be bought with real money. Critics argue that they amount to a form of gambling because players don't know what's inside when they buy them. In 2018, Belgium banned loot boxes on the basis that they violated the country's gambling laws, but they don't currently affect a game's PEGI age rating. One of the world's most popular video games, EA Football Club, a title specifically called out by Local Thunk, is rated 3+. It's often mentioned in discussions about loot boxes because the popular Ultimate Team mode, which involves buying packs of virtual trading cards. Some disagree that it counts as gambling because it's not possible to cash out or win money back from the game. We'll pause there real quick. You're from Belgium? How's gambling doing for you?
Listen, the fact that EA Football Club is a 3+, while we can't even play the Pokemon trading card game because that I'm not kidding. We cannot play it. It's not available in Belgium because buying packs of cards is considered loot boxes.
Yeah,
it's doing it in EA Football Club. Fine,
of course,
whatever,
of course. You said you used to be a FIFA kid, right? You said you used to play FIFA. Yeah. I don't know if it was Ultimate Team ever. I'm not super informed on Ultimate Team. I know you buy packs and then football players, soccer players, whatever, come out of it.
It's the same deal as like when you buy a pack of Magic cards or Pokemon trading cards or something like that. So it just doesn't really make that much sense.
Yeah.
And seeing that we don't get Pokemon the trading card game, we don't get Diablo Immortal because of that reason. But then EA gets to just do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
And then Balatro gets an 18+ rating. It just
dude.
Doesn't make any sense.
Wild. We'll circle back to it here, but to continue the article, PEGI said in a statement it will accept the decision of its complaints board and that it, quote, continuously evolves in line with cultural expectations and the guidance of independent experts, end quote. New rules will mean gambling themes do not automatically lead to an 18+ rating. Instead, it'll be limited to games that simulate casinos and betting halls. In a post on X, Twitter, after the discussion, Local Thunk said, quote, this is a good step from PEGI, bringing nuance to their rating criteria that used to be 18+ or nothing. I hope this change will allow developers to create without being unfairly punished. Yeah, this is great. I like that they're making this change. I think I've been in a weird spot since high school. Like the moment I turned 17, age rating meant nothing to me. The only time it mattered was working at GameStop when a 5-year-old came in like, I want to buy a GTA. I'm like, where's your mom, kid? Like, you can't have this. I can't sell this to you. But like, there's this strange thing of having to remember that, oh yeah, not all games are made for everybody, especially we play indies, which most of the time, even if they have darker themes, are still very like accessible to many. Like I don't think I see a lot of 18+ or rated M games anymore that I'm like, oh shoot, kids can't play this, you know? Or at least in the ones that I focus on. So it was weird hearing all of it around Balatro the first time where I'm like, really? Like you're gonna tell me that kids can't play this game just because casino vibe? Which is super weird.
It is super weird. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm really happy. Like, I doubt that Local Thunk needs an extra push for more success, but I hope it still gets it, especially with the game now being available on Game Pass as well.
Oh shit! Didn't know that.
Yeah, it just shadow dropped this week.
Chat. Balatro's fucking everywhere, dude. Y'all should be playing it, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There was a time this
Don't
weekend.
gamble.
Don't gamble. Yes, do this instead. That's what Balatro's for. Kick the habit. But there's a time this weekend where I had two friends. They were both sitting there like, I want to play Balatro. I'm like, guys, I can't. I have other things I need to play. I have embargoed stuff. Don't make me play Balatro right now. I don't have it in me. So I played Rivals instead.
Okay.
But no, I'm glad PEGI's making this change. We're in US here. ESRB is our focus, and I don't often hear a lot of complaints about the ESRB. They kind of slap on a rating, and if anything, it's more of a like, oh, they put an ESRB rating on something we haven't heard about yet, so we got a nice little spoiler for a game that's about to get announced. But most of the time, I don't think I hear a lot of people complain about what a game gets. But yeah, hearing PEGI give it the 18 plus and now wanting to backpedal and be like, all right, we get it. That was a dumb move. We always want to adjust and make sure things are correct. I can appreciate that. So that's pretty cool. Well, that's the indie news. Tell us what you guys think about Balatro now being 12 plus and some games coming out here in like a month. But speaking of games coming out in a month, some of them, not all of them, it's many. We have been playing some Steam Next Fest demos, a whole crap ton of them. Before we talk about what we've been playing, Tofr, I wanted to talk about just like Next Fest as an event and like how it's kind of evolved and where it kind of feels like it could improve. And the first thing I want to talk about was like how kind of cluttered it feels as of late, especially these last two like Next Fests, where I feel like we'll load up. And I found most of the demos I want to play through either the wishlist function, like, oh, you have this wishlisted, there's now a demo for it, or press email / my Blue Sky Twitter post of like, hey, I'm looking for demos to play. What do you have? Even on those, I got a lot of like, this very much looks like something that was hobbled together over the weekend, but doesn't mean it's bad. But scrolling Steam exclusively, it's just so many of like the same looking games over and over again. And I remember a time where Next Fest didn't feel like that. I feel like everything I saw was an exciting thing to like, I want to download this and have it again. So how do you feel about like the front page of Next Fest this year?
I haven't been a fan of it since the last the last Next Fest at the end of 2024.
Yeah.
Because it's just a mess. I remember having like an issue last year where when I scrolled down and then I clicked the button to show more, it would just refresh everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'd have to go back to
ones.
the top of the page and just start scrolling down again.
Yeah.
Now, last year I had a feeling that most of the, like, depending on how popular a game was, the higher up it would be on the Next Fest page. And I feel like this year that maybe isn't the case.
Yeah,
because it seems like we're getting all kinds of demos just mixed all over the place. Watching you scroll now, I'm seeing mostly good demos.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, maybe it was a jumping ahead of like day one where like everyone hasn't gone and found the stuff they want to play yet. But now I'm like, oh wait, shit. Now this all looks okay. Cool. This proves us wrong. Okay, well, proves me wrong. We're there. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, no. Now that I'm scrolling, I can see like, wait, hold on. Now there's like, oh, cool. Here's the cool shit. But like yesterday, for sure, it was, if it was an anime girl visual novel, it was Vampire Survivors clone over and over and over again. It was like all the same stuff. So maybe it's just a matter of giving it that day for everyone else to do the heavy lifting and finding like, oh, cool, the good stuff moved out. Bet.
Yeah, but I can imagine that people lose patience with it.
Yeah.
If you log on Monday wanting to find some good demos and all you're seeing is like these copies of better games, are you gonna check back in on Tuesday or Wednesday to see if the page has gotten better? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my PC's being weird. Give me a second. I'm back. Okay. Everything just blacked out for me for a millisecond. We're live. Yeah, no, 100%. I am excited now after the episode to go back and scroll in because I'm looking like Fumehead looks cool. Yeah, there's a couple other like new 3D platformers that are on here that weren't there yesterday. So I'll definitely be able to download some more and check out some new games. But yeah, I'm excited to see that it's cleaner now. But it's still, for sure, first day was a very just like jumbled mess of like, I don't know if I want to even... It was really just focused on the wishlist section and then downloading all the stuff I wanted to see.
Same. The thing is, as well, like, there's over 2,000 demos available as part of Next Fest right now
Mm-hmm.
is a lot. And like, how are developers going to get visibility when they have over 2,000 games to compete with?
Yeah, I almost would love some kind of like vetting system for that. And I think the only rule that I'm aware of for Next Fest is, hey, once you're in, like, that's your Next Fest. You don't get another Next Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm sure there's probably even a way around that if you're like, which could lead us into the next conversation. But yeah, like, I never want to be like, sorry, too many indie games this year. We can't have you in this conversation. Maybe next time, maybe later in the year, because that seems like just way too much. But also, yeah, there's just 2,000 games to scroll through, and I've never spoken to a developer who's had an unsuccessful Next Fest, and I'd love to hear from anyone who's like, oh yeah, we put ourselves on Next Fest, we had like 2 downloads, nobody played it, like it just wasn't worth our time. And I'm wondering if that's a combination of like our game wasn't up to snuff with what else was in there, or if it's Steam curation that kind of put them on the lower side, or what that looked like. But yeah, I'd definitely be interested to hear from a developer who did not enjoy the experience with Next Fest and see how that feels. If they're like, would you have tried again later? Do you think it was just a bad time? Do you just think Next Fest is not beneficial, depending how big the team is, or what?
Yeah. It would be interesting to hear like from developers who have had different games featured in Next Fests as well.
For sure.
To see how different their experience has been in these later editions compared to the earlier editions.
Yeah. So developers, if you're watching this, I might also make a tweet/Blue Sky about, hey, how was your Next Fest? I want to hear honest opinions, because that might be a fun episode at some point, or a fun conversation to have. Yeah. But then I also wanted to bring up other demos getting released during Next Fest. So again, I don't know the process of getting into Next Fest, and we sat here at first debating like, does MonsterCon? I don't think it's part of Next Fest because it wasn't showing up on my like wish list section, but they released their demo. So it seemed like it was, let's release our game during Next Fest. So everyone's like, let's check out demos, et cetera, et cetera. Then we found out it is, but the first game I'll talk about here in a second, Lose Lagoon, I do not believe is part of Next Fest. I think they just released their demo in that same window. So like, I listen, I want to talk about Lose Lagoon in a minute. Does that feel like it's a weird, sleazy sounds wrong. Does that feel like it's a weird tactic to do to you, of like releasing your stuff during a hot moment? Or you're like, just get your bag?
I don't really know, because if you're releasing your demo during Next Fest, but you're not part of Next Fest, then you're not going to get the visibility that Next Fest supposedly grants you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that good of an idea to be releasing it at the same time.
Right.
Because I don't really see the upsides of it.
I guess the only thing I could think, right, is people like us, we're playing demos all the fucking time. Like, we see a demo, we'll download and try it. Whereas I think most of the time I imagine most people would just download full games and play those. Like, I'll play a full game when it comes out. So maybe it is just demo hype, period. Like, someone goes on social media, like, I downloaded like 50 demos. Like, oh, another demo out? I might as well just go download this one directly. Again, like Lose Lagoon, they put on TikTok, like, our demo's out. And I comment, I'm like, dude, I am sprinting to my PC. Like, run faster. I'm like, I'm trying. To find out, I'm like, oh, this isn't a part of it. I'm still going to play it. It was the first Next Fest demo I played. But I was like, oh yeah, I guess this isn't a part of Next Fest, which means maybe next Fest they will be. But I'm wondering if it's like, we get a little bit of visibility because everyone's downloading demos, and then for closer to our release, we get an actual, like, we're in the event, we get the advertising, we get that front page little thumbnail type deal. And I don't know. I think it might just be a smart marketing thing. I have no quarrel against it. I just thought about this whole thing when I saw MonsterCon. I'm like, that's not a part of, it's a part of Next Fest. Okay, never mind. So, Indie games. But any of that crazy stuff aside, we just want to talk about the games now. And Tofr, I need you to go first because I'm going to put the timestamp, because this is one I didn't know how to demo, and you put it on the doc. And while you're in there typing, I don't know if you saw me, I typed, Real World has a fucking demo. And then deleted it. So I'd love to hear.
That's why it says quick thoughts on Real World. So
I saw that. I was like, did I do that? I was like, did Tofr do that? I'm like, interesting. I don't think I was okay. So I think there's a ghost and someone else has the doc. That's all it was. It's the Annapurna guys. They put that in the doc. They messed it up. But
yeah, no, Real World. I should have mentioned this before we started recording, but I uploaded tons of footage to our
Okay,
shared
okay.
drive.
Let's see if I can find it.
But I don't know if it's worth downloading right now.
We're gonna see if I can play it.
Okay.
Let's find
But yeah,
it.
Wheel World, formerly known as Ghost Bike.
Yes.
Is, hang on, let me take the page because I didn't write my thoughts down that well this time.
Oh shit!
I'm a little unprepared. I've been working all day.
felt that.
But yeah, you play as Kat, a person who has been chosen by ancient cycling spirits to help them perform a great shift ritual and save the universe. And that sounds really exciting. And the thing is, the gameplay isn't all that exciting.
Okay.
I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just like it's all very tranquil. Like it's a chill time.
Oh, I love that.
You bike around, you explore, you meet people, you race against bike gangs. And like not motorbike gangs, actual bicycle gangs.
Hell yeah.
And I had such a good time with it. It's a pretty short demo, and unless you really spend most of it just exploring the available area.
Yeah.
But if you stick to the story, I think I finished it in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
But I had such a good time with it. What really sold this to me is that the devs really make you feel like you're riding a bike. Like you start out with this rusty old thing. And there's like this slight vibration in your controller while you're biking, and it just fits with that rustiness.
That's exciting.
Yeah, there's humor in there. I love the visuals. The visuals really remind me of something like Caravan Sandwich.
Okay, I was gonna say Dungeons of Hinterberg. Yeah, I'm getting the same vibe.
Yeah. This is when this releases this summer, it's gonna be up there for Game of the Year, I think.
I'm so excited, dude. I like probably when we're done here, I have to export everything for tomorrow, but like it's downloaded. The moment my PC's free to play a game, like I want to play Wheel World because this looks. I'm so infatuated with how this game looks. Seeing it at Annapurna showcase the other day, like I struggle where in my head I like the title Ghost Bike a little bit more. Like that's what's in my heart. I'm gonna like every time I go look this up, I'm like fuck, what was the new name? Ghost Bike, and then it's like Wheel World. I'm like that's the one I need. But it looks like such a vibe. Like I said, we already mentioned Caravan Sandwich / Dungeons of Hinterberg, but I also think about oh god, it was another one. Seasons, which is such a similar vibe. Where I'm like, oh dude, this looks great. But also Scully is super cute. Like.
Scully is super cute.
I don't have any tattoos yet, but I'm like, a Scully tattoo would kind of go hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a little floating ghost head. That'd be kind of cool. Let's play the game first before we go getting tattoos. But yeah, I'm excited for whatever vibe this game is. And you mentioned the controller stuff, and me being like, I forget, is this coming to PS5? Because I want to feel those HD rumbles in this controller when I'm riding this bike. I want to feel it, man.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
The cool thing is, within the demo, you already collect a couple of bike parts to upgrade your bike.
Yeah,
and you feel the difference, even if it's only slight. You really do feel it, unless I was imagining things.
Nah, I believe you.
But I felt like it was influencing how my bike handled.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited. This game looks great.
It's fun. Also, I think the name might be a pun.
Okay.
Because there were some puns within the demo, and I think that it might be a play on words on the real world. Like
okay. Yeah, the Wheel World. Like okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Did it seem? Are you doing quests? Is it really just exploring? Like what's the focal gameplay of, other than just riding?
You are doing quests. So in the demo, you have to make it to the top of this hill.
Okay.
I won't spoil why, because I want you to experience it yourself.
So it's a short
as
hike.
You can see in the video version, the road is blocked by a bike gang.
This guy looks like a punk.
And this guy from this gang, he's like, if you want to go higher up, you have to earn reputation. And to earn reputation, you gotta beat us in a race. Okay. But if you want to race us, you first have to collect my friends from the beach. So you bike on over to the beach, get those friends, and then you go into a race. And then when you beat them, you are granted passage further up the hill.
Brother, I'm so excited. I hate that I missed that this had a demo until this morning. I want to play it. I'm very excited. It's not one. I don't think it came up during our like most anticipated conversation, but it should have. It should have. And I think I just like it had been so quiet for so long, I forgot it existed. And now I'm like, oh wait, fucking Go Spike, fucking Real World.
I think the reason I didn't put it in my most anticipated was I wasn't sure that it was going to release this year.
Yeah.
But now that it's been confirmed that we're going to get it this summer.
Let's fucking go, dude. I can't
definitely
wait.
Up there.
Oh, man. This is great. I'm so excited. I got to talk about something else. I can't keep talking about. I'll be sitting here. This will be a Real World episode now. Fuck. Oh, that looks so great. It looks so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Bad. Okay, let me timestamp here. Let me talk about another game I was very excited for, Tofr.
Okay.
I already mentioned a little bit in the intro, and we didn't get too far into it here.
Monster Prom. Oh no. Wait.
Monster Prom. I have not touched MonsterCon yet. I have not. We were messaging back and forth. I was like, can't wait to play some demo. He's like, are you gonna be able to pull yourself away from con? I'm like, probably not. So I saved MonsterCon. I'll probably play it sometime tomorrow in the afternoon or whatever. It'll be on next week's episode for sure. But I was like, let's try something else first. But I started with Lose Lagoon, which was also in my most anticipated games for this year video. I played Creatures of Ava last year, and this is like a cuter version of that. And that's a really good thing. That's a fun So you're playing as, I guess, niece/nephew of Lou. I think Lou is your uncle, if I recall. But Lou owns this package delivery service on this little island in the middle of nowhere. And you land there and it's like, oh no, the plane crashed. It's all broken and everything. You run into Hefty, who's just like, hey, I know your Uncle Lou. Yeah, anyway, if you want to do some exploring and find some stuff, you're going to have to get it. You get to make your own character. I love the way my character looks. I think she's adorable. Everything with games where I'm like, when I started, it feels like there's an intended gender, right? Like I play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's a Cassandra game. That's, if you play Alexio, you're wrong, right? Like, this game felt like I should play a female character. So I made a female character. I love the way she looks. If I have to remake it, I will. I love her design. But there's just these cute little animals that exist around the island, and you eventually get this cool like suction gun that you use to just gather up materials and place them back where they need to go. So your first major objective is to fix this plane. You have to find a bunch of scrap and the propeller. You go down the beach, you find some kids like, my brother got stuck on a little island because his raft broke. So you have to go scrounge some wood, swim across, fix his raft so he can swim back. And they're just like, yay, you want a propeller? Hold on. You're going to have to check on our grandma first because we don't know if she's doing too well. You go to grandma, she's like, those kids, I need them to help gather food for dinner because I'm in a wheelchair. I can't do it. So if you could help me, then they come back. So you do all the fun missions. There's a little cooking mini game. It's really just this like checklist of do this, do that, do this, make people happy, people give you thing, like very much like the open world sandbox type of deal that people are used to. It's just so pretty. I didn't mute my video. Y'all might have just heard me scream, I love this so much. It's so charming. It's so cute. Like the game ran great and just the world feels so freaking just adorable. I love the art style. Everything's got this little chunky, crooked visual style to it. It's so much fun. I'm glad I got to play this demo. It was a great way to start off my next fest. It did one of those things where like I picked up a quest. I was like, oh cool, let me go talk to this guy real quick. He's like, hey, I need this stuff. I don't think I can get it here, but if you get to the next island, I think they'll have it. You fix the plane, you fly to the next island, and as you're going to land, it like fades to white and you see the cutscene kick. I'm like, no. It's like, all right, thanks for playing. I'm like, you bastards. I wanted to find the stuff. Right now I think it's still just 2025, but whenever that is, I'm ready to sink in. I'm ready to just play all of it.
Yeah, I really get that feeling when I had it with Wheel World as well. When that final cutscene starts, I'm like, no.
Yeah, you're like, why isn't this the full game? Why don't you have the full game for me?
Yeah. Also, I have to say, I already love Hefty.
Yeah, Hefty's really cool.
Horrible.
When we have Hefty and then we have Boro and Wanderstop, I'm like, oh, we got some cute old guy energy this year. 2025 is a cute old guy year, dude. I'm here for it.
Listen, with all of the evil guys taking over the world lately, we need some cute old guys.
Yeah, we need cute old guys. So devs, put a cute old guy in your game. It's very important to us. We need it this year. No, the game's super fun. Just the snippet, like, I want more. I want so much more. I'm tempted to like restart the demo and see if like, could I have done anything else before I ran over here? That way I didn't like, oh, if I did this first, I could have completed blah, 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 instead of whatever. But don't know for sure, but.
When you get this hyped, that means it's going to be a good one.
I'm excited, dude. It's really fun. Like I compared to Creatures of Ava, right? Which I played last year. It's got the similar gameplay loop. If you run out, you hold the trigger, which activates your weapon, which isn't like a damaging weapon. It's just a gathering tool, or like it's like you try and the big sheep thing that was there. If you're trying to take its material, your gun's not strong enough yet, so you can't pull the material from it. But he gets pissed. He's like, what you sucking on me for? So he'll like run you down and try and slam into you. In the footage I was just showing, like, I'm like, if I try and do it on the other side of a bar that he'll run into, maybe I can get it. It's like, nope, still not strong enough. But he'll just like run around and beat your ass. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop. But like, it didn't seem like just a health bar. You don't die, you just get stunned. Of like, okay, sorry, I'll stop fucking around. Bye, I'll leave. It just seems like a really cute, relaxing, open world adventure. And then after we have Wanderstop here next month, it'll be just like I'm hoping to end Wanderstop to jump into Lose Lagoon. I'm expecting this to be maybe like a fall release, if anything, but I wouldn't mind if we're just like real quick in the next week, like, by the way, coming out in March. I'm like, don't you? Okay. All right.
Oh, not March. Just not March.
Do it. Release in March. Yeah, please don't release in March. Not right now. It's too busy. Too busy.
We don't have the time to play everything, damn it.
I know, but I don't want to. But yeah, so that's Lose Lagoon. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But no, what else you got, dog? What else you playing over there?
I did put Wanderstop on my list because I played it, but we did mention it last week already, so I don't know if it's worth diving back into. I just had a very similar experience to you. Okay. It was so relaxing, and I did not want to stop playing.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's so much fun. Oh god, that's my March game right now. I'm excited for that one.
Oh yeah. But then there's this scene in the trailer.
Okay.
Where she's sitting down, Alta, the main character, and she's like, "I'm happy here. I deserve this. This is fine. I deserve this, don't I? I'm happy, aren't I?" And I'm like, oh god, I recognize that so much from my own burnout. I'm like, yeah, they did. Either they did their homework on burnout or they went through it themselves. Because this is really on point.
Yeah, I haven't cried in anything I've played yet. I am prepared to though. So we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And if something happens to Boro, I will hunt these developers down.
I'll sue. Jenny, I have immediate contact to you through Discord, Instagram, email, any means that I need. I'm calling out Jenny Wyndham right now. If anything happens to Boro, we're gonna have a problem. Also, after some communication with the devs, I think I'm doing a Boro cosplay stream on launch where I'm gonna just like no beanie, put on the apron, and just like maybe make some tea while I'm like, I don't really drink tea, but might find some tea stuff to do for like launch day and like start a new run on PlayStation. Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Nice.
I'm excited.
That's amazing. I can hang out and I can be the burnt out one.
Run it, dude. You can go Alta. You just sit in chat like, I'm so tired. I'm like, come on, just take a break. Yeah. It's gonna be okay. Come make some tea.
I'm happy.
Okay, it doesn't sound like it. It really doesn't sound like it. But let's see. Since we just quickly wander side, because we do Ninja Turtles 2. Yeah,
sure. My next game is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown.
Yeah,
which is the newest game by Strange Scaffold. A developer who has been knocking it out of the park lately.
Take a fucking nap, dude. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But I have to say, like, usually when you play it, a Ninja Turtles game, it's this fun beat 'em up.
Yeah.
And Strange Scaffold was like, nah, let's not do that. Let's make it turn-based.
Okay. So this is another one I hadn't seen on Steam, but I got the email this morning, like, check out the demo, and it was like turn-based beat 'em up or something to the effect. I'm like, oh, what does that look like? I don't know what that means.
Yep.
Okay.
Listen. You remember how I raved about Tactical Breach Wizards last year?
Yep.
This is up there with Tactical Breach Wizards.
Okay.
It's that much fun. And you like, I get why they made it turn-based, because the Foot Clan in this game is like, they are so big in numbers, it would get overwhelming if this was a regular beat 'em up.
Oh god.
So it kind of helps out that it's turn-based. You still kick ass because you play as the Turtles.
Yeah, of course. You have to.
But yeah, but it's so good. Like, I love the setting of the game, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this timeline, Master Splinter has died.
Oh no.
And the Turtles have grown apart.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And the game starts with the Foot Clan ambushing the Turtles' hideout and stealing something that belonged to Master Splinter.
Okay.
And it's up to you to then get the other Turtles back to like get the team back together.
Yeah.
And to challenge the Foot Clan that way. It's really cool because you have the big difference with Tactical Breach Wizards was that that was played in static rooms.
Yeah.
You had a room, you had the enemies, sometimes new enemies would arrive, but you always have that room to play in. But what you're about to see in the video version is that the room grows. Like, the next part of the building will come into play, and the part that you were playing at will disappear. And you have to use that within your strategy, because where you don't see a room right now, you can kick your opponent off the playing field.
Okay.
But like,
and then that'll like expand, and you have like a new section of the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Huh.
And it's really cool. It feels like a world that's really alive.
Yeah. Oh, dope. I love that. I think I just downloaded this one this morning. I haven't played it yet, but yeah. This looks sick. I'm not the biggest Ninja Turtles guy. Like, I didn't grow up with them as kids, but like, I still fuck with the Turtles. I think they're really cool. And there's usually a give or take, like, which style they're in is whether I'm into them. Like, I never saw the second live action, but I loved Mutant Mayhem, I think was the movie. The, like, Into the Spider-Verse type one. I loved that. And, like, the style of this, and then, of course, being Strange Scaffold, I'm like, well, of course I got to check it out. Like, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
This looks sick.
Also,
like
the music, the music in this one. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Okay.
It really sets the mood. This is, when this releases, this is another one that's gonna be up there for Game of the Year, I think.
That. Okay. How did did this one feel like it was challenging? Did it feel like it was a decent level? Or?
It was quite challenging. Like, you start in the sewers.
Yeah.
Where you just have to deal with like your enemies, but then you go above ground, and then there's gonna be cars that pass by and stuff that too. Yeah. There's plenty of things that you have to keep in mind when you choose your next move.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's on the list. We gotta check it out. Looks fun. Damn you, Turtles. Fucking damn Turtles. I love that. Looks really cool. That looks really cool. Let me see. All right, hold on. Now, so I played Ruffy and the Riverside.
Yeah.
I played this a couple weeks ago, actually. I had a pre-Next Fest demo that just like, full transparency, they were supposed to send me a code early so I could cover it before Steam Next Fest even happened. And then I got the email like, hey, I hope you guys all enjoyed the demo. I'm like, hey, real quick, you never sent me mine. They're like, what? No, we shoulda. And they're like, now we got to check because it sounds like our email is broken and we have to fix that. So I'm like, I'm not mad. I just want to make sure I wasn't blacklisted for some reason because I just didn't get mine. But I ended up playing it a few nights ago before Next Fest kicked off. For anyone who's not familiar with Ruffy and the Riverside, it is this 3D platformer that's very like Banjo-Kazooie meets Paper Mario. It's adorable. I love the art style. It's a 3D world, but everything's textured in this 2D style. Ruffy has this ability to copy textures and throw them onto other objects. So like the first major thing is you're falling on this piece of earth, like, oh, what's going to happen? And you can grab leaves and throw them onto the waterfall, which allows you to jump off and then climb on it. And you can do that with everything in the world. You can turn rock into wood. You can turn water into lava, and you can use these things to manipulate the world and solve puzzles. It's really fun. The demo gives you 4 levels. There's the open world section where you choose which world you want to go into. And then each individual level kind of messes with some of the different mechanics, mostly being the copy the textures and move stuff. In each level, you'll get all the stars that you can find, complete all the missions. Very like Mario 64-esque in that way. Of like, I found the item, it's a new star. If I get enough stars, it'll unlock the next door. You go do that level, etc. And once you can get all the stars, you go to the final door. It's like, here's the look at the entire world. Thanks for playing. I'm like, okay, all right. It's cool. I dug it. I dug it a lot. I think as someone who was not a Banjo-Kazooie kid, like there wasn't a genre or a game series I've ever touched. I felt the nostalgia for it. Like I immediately told my buddy Chris, who loves Banjo-Kazooie, his favorite game growing up. I was like, this. I think if you like Banjo, I think you really like this one. A lot of puzzles, like for example, the one we're looking at now for the video version, you have this like compass on the wall where you have to copy the texture and replace certain parts of it to make a certain image, but you have to go find that image somewhere in the level to find, okay, this is what I have to make. You go, you come back, make that image, and then it will lift up, getting you a star. So you can do all that. Something that I took way too long to figure out was the multi-swap. So I was doing a copy, paste, a texture.
Oh no.
But what you can do is just hold L2, copy something, and then go to the wall where you can change textures and just like draw on it. And then when you release, it'll change everything to that one texture. So I was like, got it. I just made this very difficult for myself, but it's a lot easier to do than I made it. And then like the third level gives you like a skateboarding section, which doesn't do a whole lot, but you go up, and as you come back down the rail, let me go back here, play a longer one. The whole thing is just like complete the tricks, and if you land a perfect landing, you get more momentum and go back up and down, and you're trying to get this insane score. I think this level is like get 20,000 points. I'm like, fucking how? I'm in 2,000. How much? I'm like, oh, I see. I just need to do better at my perfect landings, then I can crank out the points. But yeah, I dug this one a lot. I think stylistically, it's one that's really up my alley. I've been following it for a while. I forget if this came up during a most anticipated. For some reason, I feel like it didn't, but it might have. Okay. Then, yeah, Ruffy's a really cool one. I enjoyed this demo. I'm hoping it's just full of new shit every time we open a new world of like, check out this and a whole new mechanic here and all this other fun stuff that you can play with. It's just a really fun time.
Yeah, I had this thought that this was going to be one of the demos for you this edition of Next Fest, because I remember you enjoying Yellow Taxi Go Vroom last year.
Yep.
And I thought this is maybe a bit similar to that.
Yep, definitely similar. I mean, this one you could actually jump normally, so you don't have to do crazy car tricks to get up on a platform. But yeah, it definitely had me in a spot where I'm like, I've never played Banjo-Kazooie, but like maybe I should. Like, I think I would, after playing this, I think I would enjoy Banjo. Or I'd be like, Banjo ain't got nothing on Ruffy, honestly. Like, I don't know for sure, but yeah, it's great. Style's awesome. The levels are cool. The music is really fun. There's some like Mario Odyssey-esque like puzzles where like you open the portal, you go in, and it changes from the 3D world to like a 2D plane. Yeah. And like, it's this like boxing flower, and I hope I can find it. Let me see. But like, I couldn't figure out how to complete it. I'm like, how do I get through this level? And what you were supposed to do is copy the lava from another section of the world. Here we go. There's this like tree dude trying to box you. And he's standing in water. And if you go anywhere near him, he like sucker punches you. Like, get the fuck away. Don't you come anywhere near here. And I couldn't figure out what to do. So I left the level. Like, maybe I don't have an upgrade yet. Later came back. I'm like, oh, cool. I ran to the other side of the map, copied some lava, ran back over, pasted the lava in the water so it burned down the tree, came back out, turned it back into water, and then completed the level. I'm like, got it. Okay, so I had to think outside of this puzzle and what I could do, which was like, okay, cool. There are a lot of different variables to messing with shit as opposed to just like, this is where you're at, figure it out. Like, you can bring things from other sections and solve it. So that was another fun thing to do. And then me here, I'm like, what about the other portal?
It sounds like it doesn't cater to like children as much as what was it called? The Plucky Squire did.
No, absolutely
And
not. No.
The challenge is a bit more difficult, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think kids could play this and figure it out. I can see this being, again, I say this as someone who's not a parent. I can see this being the like dad with the kid in his lap, like, how do we want to solve this? It'd be crazy if we burned down that tree. Or even dad being like, oh God, kiddo, I got no idea. I'm not sure. We got let's come back to this because my brain don't figure it out yet. Or a kid's just insane, just like, Dad, what if we burn? You know what? You might be onto something, kiddo. Like, we'll see one day. But yeah, no, this is really dope. I want to see more of the puzzles, how challenging they get. There's a lot of secrets to, like, you just stumble upon something like, oh, cool. If I move this and do that, I'll figure this part out. And then just find new sections of the world and everything. And you just sat here fucking, I'm tired of looking at myself fail at this puzzle. But yeah, Ruffy's really great. I think the big selling point's the art style. And if you're into it, I think you'll have fun exploring this world and just doing all the fun puzzles.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on Ruffy. What else you got over there?
I have also played Monster Train 2.
Okay.
Now, I was caught off guard when they announced Monster Train 2 last week.
Yeah.
I was like, I had no idea this was in the works.
Look what's coming out.
Yeah, basically, Monster Train is one of the few challengers to Slay the Spire's throne.
Okay.
It's a roguelike deck builder, but it changes things up. Like, you're on you're traveling in a train, and in the first game you were traveling through hell.
Okay.
And you had to save hell from invading forces.
Love that.
These forces attack you on your train. Now your train is divided in 4 levels. Enemies will always spawn on the bottom level.
Okay.
And you get to decide where you put your characters within the train, because enemies will try to make it to the top floor to attack your engine.
No,
Once your engine dies, your run is over.
Okay.
Now, for the sequel, I have to say gameplay feels pretty similar so far.
All right.
It feels more like an expansion than a sequel, maybe. Okay. But that might just be the demo. I don't know.
Sure.
Because they do promise like new clans, new enemy factions, new challenges, new modes. There's going to be plenty of new stuff, but I didn't feel overwhelmed by new stuff playing the demo. I had this muscle memory from playing the first game, and I could still like get somewhere with this game. And yeah, it looks really promising. It kind of I'm hoping they make even more changes so it feels like a proper sequel.
Okay.
It's cool that this time you're actually riding through heaven instead of hell.
Thank God. I had to go to the good place.
Because I think the story was that Titans have taken over heaven.
Oh.
So there's like this coalition of holy beings and not so holy beings working together to save heaven before it gets destroyed. I think the story's going to be pretty cool, and this one is going to be just as addicting as the first game. And I have to say, with Slay the Spire 2 releasing this year, Dying the Dungeon having just released, Nights in Tight Spaces releasing next month, As We Descend releasing next month, this is the year of roguelike deck builders.
Oh, give me say, man. Listen, release Wild Frost 2 and trounce all of them, dude. Where are we at? Put it out. I'll cry. Listen. Now that we're getting Moonlighter 2, I have to do that. Now I have to beg for Wild Frost 2. So when it happens, I can just be happy all over again. Like, but no, this looks sick. Monster Train is not a franchise I've ever like looked at. Like, I know it existed, but it's. In most conversations, we talk about Slay the Spire, right? So this is not usually one that we often talk about. And I saw your hype when they announced it. I'm like, okay, hold on. It looks cool. I like the character design. Like this person here, the Harpy Ice Queen, whatever this is, like they look dope. They look sick as hell.
I know, right?
Yeah, they look awesome.
Yeah. Monster Train is really cool. And like if you want to check out the first game, let me wait. Before I announce this, let me check.
The grand
because
reveal.
It is on sale.
Okay.
It is on sale for 90% off.
Oh shit.
Okay, until the end of Next Fest. So that's
Okay.
It's $2.50 for a game that will entertain you for hours upon hours upon hours.
Damn. Okay. I love their banner now says sequel announced. It's they're like, by the way, we're making a new one. Okay. Bet, let's add it to cart. Try to remember to check that out tonight. What else is in my cart? Oh, also another game that might be the next book club, which is currently in the cart. Also. Yeah. It's in the cart. It's in the cart. We'll see. Find out in a month. Yeah, this looks sick. I'm excited to see more of this one. I'm gonna have to check out this demo for myself and then grab the first one here on sale. And there's not enough hours in the day. This cat has a funky eye.
Yeah.
That's a big eye.
I do think, like, I can imagine, since you like Wild Frost so much, that Slay the Spire might be a bit too basic.
Okay.
And Monster Train might be more your kind of thing, because you have much more going on at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, we can find out. We're going to have just a whole episode that's Slay the Spire versus Monster Train, and I'm just singing the praises of Monster Train.
Ooh.
A lot of the guys would like to stand on there. I'm like, this game fun. Like, well, Danny, you didn't think about the nuance. I'm like, yeah, well, actually, trains, Tofr. Trains. But hell yeah. Did that one a date or we just know it's this year?
Just that it's this year.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Then let me see what else I got. Oh, I know what I got next. Now,
you've got plenty.
I do have plenty. So, the next thing I want to talk about is called Sliding Hero. We actually, maybe an hour ago, had some interactions with the devs on Blue Sky. You'd put out like, hey, demos to check out. Like, you should check out our game. And you're like, I think Danny has. I'm like, thoughts tomorrow. And they were like, hey, I'm a little afraid to hear what you have to say. And they should be. They should be very afraid. And by that, I mean they shouldn't. Because I really had a great time with Sliding Hero. It's really cool. So it's funny because
you had me fooled for a second.
You should be fooled. Oh, I got to keep on your toes. So Sliding Hero is basically a Metroidvania where the whole thing is the Pokemon ice sliding puzzles that you'd see in like Gold and Silver, or even like Ruby and Sapphire, where you pick a direction and you go all the way in that direction until you hit a wall, and then you do that again and move all the way around. I was a little confused at first. I couldn't quite pick up the progression of exploring the levels, but after I figured out, I was like, oh wait, this is really cool. And it is this constant thing of, I'm going to slide this way, move this way. If I go here, I got to circle around so I can get up above to get to the door you need to reach or get the item you want. And there's two different types of rooms where there's just this is a traversal room. I'm just trying to get to the next section. And then the world is also gorgeous. There's a lot of purples and greens and browns that just look stunning, along with some of the pixel art. Like there's just giant statue heads, or there's a really cool a character you meet eventually that's just like a giant person in the ground coming out of like a hole. I'm like, oh, you're sick, you're dope. But then there's also like battle rooms, there's challenge rooms where the whole thing is you pick up new weapons to interact with those enemies, but you also take damage unless you do it in a particular way. It's like when you start, when you enter a challenge room, they don't show like your health, right? Let me find one that's combat here. I think this one. Yeah. So by default, I think you do like 1 damage and you have like 0 shield. So if you go and fight an enemy and make immediate contact with them, you'll do damage and they'll do damage in return. So if you only have 1 health and you kill them, you're like, okay, that did not accomplish anything. I die and reset. So you probably want to go with full health if you can. But eventually you'll find weapons that do more damage. If I recall, I think if you do more damage than they do, this is going to be weird. Sorry, audio listeners. I'm going to try and explain it the best. For video listeners, it's going to make a lot more sense. So like there's characters on the screen, right? They show their damage. And then there's that mask, which I don't actually know what the mask was. I didn't figure that out. It probably means something I just missed. But when you hit an enemy, they'll do the same amount of damage back that's listed on their thing. At the top of the screen, there's like, this guy has 1 heart. He has no damage or anything. You could just smack him and you're good. But sometimes it's not about killing someone as fast as you can, because there's also like a spear. The spear leaves a gap in between you. So even if they do damage in return, they can't hit you because you're too far away. But the spear gives you reach so you can hit them. So like the guy at the top, if you want to go and stab him, you'll stop with that one space in between, giving you the chance to slide down and enter the room that you can't reach any other way because there's no other walls to stop you. So it's a lot of that of just like, I messed up. I killed an enemy too soon, or I killed an enemy too late. So now I need to restart, get this guy first, get this guy second, complete a thing. Now I can get the item that I need. And that's where a lot of the combat rooms are. I found a lot of sections of this game where I'm like, I don't think I can be here because I don't have the items for it yet. And then by the time I got them, I was in that like final stretch to the end of the game. I'm like, okay, cool. I got it. I didn't get to try out those things, but I know I can go back there and finish it now because I have the item to move boxes. I have the item to kill somebody from a distance so I don't take the damage that I keep dying on this level with. So it's really fun. Like, again, if you love the ice puzzles in Pokemon, this is all that, just with combat. Like, you're fighting with it. And I really had a great time going through it. I think the demo, I paused a lot, so I think it sat up on my PC for like 2 hours when I was like jumping around doing stuff. But I think it's probably like an hour-ish of me playing through this game and exploring the world. Got to this area, can't do it, I'll come back. And it's a refreshing take on a Metroidvania because there so many are the 2D platformer, like the very stereotypical Metroidvania. And this being that more top-down thing is like really cool. It's refreshing. And definitely had some challenges figuring out like where to go at certain points, but I had a great time with this. No complaints. I'm excited for the full thing.
Yeah, you're selling it to me as well. I mean, the visuals are doing their part too.
Yeah, 100%.
The artwork here is gorgeous. This is some of the best pixel art I've seen.
It's dope. And I want to find it because it ends with the final boss, right? And there's all these different little character arts, right? Like Luca is the main character. I think they have some mommy issues. It's just part of the story that kind of goes into that. But they have these really cool like character arts of like, oh, this cool jester dude. And there was a Souls like that came out last year that I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but it was a very Italian Renaissance inspired type stuff. And this has that same vibe. And everyone looks really cool. And Luca's kind of like this smart ass of like, all right, buddy, shut up. Can we just get to the fight so we can move on? It's like, oh, you're playing, Luca. Just have some fun. Let's play. And this boss encounter, which I'm excited to see how else the gameplay evolves, because it's still a sliding puzzle, but this one requires a lot more speed and precision, because the whole thing is like, this guy spawns down here, but now I have to bounce off all these different walls to make sure I hit him in time. After you do like 3 or 4, he does this giant ring on you that shrinks. And if it shrinks all the way before you hit him, you'll take 2 damage. So you only have 3 health to start. So if you're already going in under health, like 1 shot, you're dead. I had to run this back a couple times to be like, okay, I'm bouncing off the wrong wall. I went the wrong way. I got to get over here now. And so yeah, here you're seeing it now. I'm like, oh, I'm about to die. I got to find the guy. I got to find the right one. I'm going to die. And then
supposed to get him.
And you just got to do it right. And here I was like, right there, I know if I went left instead of right and then bounced off that way, I would have hit him, but I messed up. I screwed up. Okay. So you go back to the respawn, go to the thing again, do it right this time. It's cool. Another one of those like fun, unique takes on an indie. I'm like, bet this is the refreshing take on a genre that we still get plenty of, but then we talked earlier about like there's so many Vampire Survivor clones that really don't do anything different. They just change, this one's about a capybara, or this one's about a other kind of crazy animal, or a robot. I'm like, okay, same game, different coat of paint. This is one of those same genre, whole different take on it, and I love that. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. So devs, calm down. I liked your game. Can't wait to play more. Oh boy. Let's see. What did you have next over here? Oh yeah. I don't know about this
next game. I don't have any footage for that one because for some reason, OBS wouldn't pick it up as like even when I just tried to record my screen, it just went blank. It was
I can't believe
weird.
you did this. Now I gotta put the Steam demo trailer on loop.
Yeah,
all good.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I think I have the right one here. It looks cute.
It does look cute, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's called Castle versus Castle.
Okay.
And it's a really simple game where you have a castle and an enemy has a castle.
Uh-huh.
And you have to try you can win by either building your castle high enough or by destroying the other person's castle. And you do this through using cards.
Tofr liking a card game? Who would have guessed?
I know, right? To use these cards, you have to have the right ingredients. So video watchers can see like on the left and right side of the screen, there's this list of items.
Okay.
And depending on how many you have, that will have an effect on which cards you can play. It's a really quick game to play. Like one battle will last you a couple of minutes, maybe. Might be faster if you play your cards right. But it's a but it's a roguelike. So you when you win one battle, you go up against your next opponent and so forth. It's really cool.
I like it.
It's I think I don't remember who it was. Someone with a pretty big indie podcast mentioned that they had the same feeling playing this as they had with Balatro.
Ooh,
and I kind of get it. I kind of get it. The one more run feeling is very strong with this one. Yeah. I also just love like the art. It's pretty simple.
It's cute.
But stylized, and it really works for me.
Yeah, it's giving that Spy versus Spy, I think is the comic strip, the black spy versus the white spy. Yeah, it's giving that same style. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. You were saying, so the cards you play is based on the materials you have. Are you getting those materials from the cards, or is it like each round you gain a certain amount of those? Okay.
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks dope.
But like some of the cards will also, for example, take ingredients away from your opponent. So they can do that to you as well.
Damn it. I'm gonna take my stuff.
I'm very much hoping that this is gonna get multiplayer as well, because
it seems like
I can imagine this being a lot of fun playing it with friends. You also can see like when your tower gets real low, there's this kind of the small cardboard that pops up that says the end is nigh.
I see him.
And if you then start building again, it just turns around and says, "Oh, never mind," and walks away again.
I love that. That's so cute. Yeah. No, there he goes. He said, "Never mind." I hope they can see. I don't know if it's behind my face cam or not. That's really cool. No, this looks great. This is one of those like smaller type, like it's really simple. Here's the experience. Have a good time. But again, like that's Balatro. We're like, fuck. Oh no. I hope this is this year's Balatro. Gets nominated. Everyone's like, this is Game of the Year comp? What the hell? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The devs also like to mention that the game was funded and supported by Slay the Spire's Casey Yano.
Cool. Hell yeah.
That's quite a support to have.
That's really cool. Wish list. Bop. Download demo. Maybe I shouldn't do that while we're recording. I'll put that later. I can't be downloading demos. I was like, where'd Tofr go? I'm like, oh, we're out of internet. Sorry.
Tofr still here somehow.
Poor audio listeners like, oh no, it's breaking. Danny downloaded. Hell yeah. Let me see here. I unfortunately didn't very much like this next one. I'm sorry. So the game is called Canvas. It is this first person puzzle game. It's very reminiscent of like the Unfinished Swan and like Ete, which I really enjoyed those games, right? I thought they were really cool. This one, I just felt a major lack of direction and ability to see. Like the whole world is black and white, which isn't necessarily bad, but like really it's a lot of you just slapping paint on places until you happen to find something by complete accident. And I didn't love that. I didn't really enjoy the loop of this one. Like when you start, it's everything's black and white, you find green. That's the first color you get. The longer you paint something, the closer you get to like blacking out, which I don't know if that has any repercussions. I think you just paint slower. I never like passed out or died or anything in this game. It doesn't seem to have that to it. But like, you might have just seen I was painting the crap out of some of these arches. Now this one's going super slow. Again, I think it's because I'm like blacking out from painting too much. But the fuel is what's in the top left corner, which now is hard to see because it's on white. But it's like a pill with a pill inside and then half a circle and then a meter. And it's really confusing. I don't exactly know how to determine how much paint I have. But after you complete this section, like you go out into the world, you get through the door and you're like, all right, cool. Here's this next spot. Here's the list of challenges. There's upgrades, which like you pick up these diamonds. They mean you can paint longer or you get more like paint in your loadout, your ammo, or, however you want to define it. But then it's like, oh, cool. Now I'm just going to slather paint everywhere until I find something, right? So I start painting these walls. I'm like, oh, this could mean something. And it did fill in the walls, but it didn't accomplish anything. I think it just made the world brighter, and maybe that's the goal. I think I like describe it to myself as like playing Splatoon with the lights off. Like it just didn't feel great. Like I don't know. I think there's something here. I'd love to see some touches to it. If I recall, I think it's releasing soon-ish, so this is probably final. I could be totally wrong. That I have to pull up the Steam page, but I remember seeing that it was coming soon. But yeah, I wasn't super huge on it. I wanted to like it. It's in the vibe again, like games I've enjoyed, like Unfinished Swan, but I don't know. I just felt the direction wasn't there. I felt like it was just too much of look at the ground, hope you find something. Like you have to find a key to get in this one door, and there's no real direction of where that key is. I spent maybe like 30 minutes just painting the ground, and then it just popped up. I'm like, oh, found the key. Don't know how. It just showed up. And I'm like, oh, but if I'm the unlucky guy that isn't painting the right part of the map, like it's somewhere in this section for video watchers where I'm at now, somewhere in here is this key. And I just happened upon it. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't love that that's how I found it. So I think there'll be people who enjoy it, maybe people with more patience or more desire to just kind of slap paint everywhere. And maybe as you get more upgrades, you can do more paint, it becomes less tedious. But what I got to play in the demo, I definitely stopped early. I didn't see this one through to the end. I'm like, I think I've had my experience. I'm good. And I kind of sucked. I wanted to like it more, but that was Canvas.
There's not much I can say about this one.
Yeah.
It looks confusing, but you already mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's a shame because maybe with a bit more direction, as you mentioned, it might there might be this aha moment.
Yeah, it very well could be.
All of a sudden, you just get it, and maybe the full game will have that.
Yeah, I hope. Let me see. I think I made it up. There is no current release date. I see updates to the demo. It just says to be announced. So this could have some major changes in between now and release, but I'm hoping it does. Because again, I think there's some cool stuff here, but I'm struggling to want to see more right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but ho hum. Let's see. What else you got for me, Tofus?
Well, you know how I mentioned before that I grew up playing football game, like soccer games. Sorry, because Americans.
Yes, the right word. Come on. Okay.
Sure. What the game I played the most when I was little was FIFA 98.
Okay.
This was one of the earlier EA Sports games. It was a lot of fun. And now someone, this developer, a solo developer, I believe,
all right,
thought to themselves, why not cross FIFA 98 with Silent Hill?
Okay,
and
interesting.
FEARFA 98.
Huh. I saw this one. I was like, I don't know what this is. I think I'm good. Like, it's not one that I was. That is such a weird crossover. But okay, continue.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's not really that much to say about it.
Okay.
Because it's at the moment, it's just you can play a match.
Okay.
Where it's like one type of demon or a horrible person against another type, and there's tons of stuff happening on the field. But I have no idea what everything is. It was just all really chaotic.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing? It's just a huge ass dude marching around.
Every time the ball reaches that tall guy, the ball just bounces up into the air for some reason. I have no idea why. There's no explanations.
Okay.
Gameplay is pretty simple, just like the old FIFA games used to be before they got ultra realistic.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but after 2 matches, I was like, maybe when there's more to this game than there is now, I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty early in development still. Okay. The menu did mention like a kind of story mode, so cool. I'd be really interested in seeing that. But yeah, I had to check it out just because of the weird factor.
Yeah, this is not what I expected. I was saying like FEARFA. I'm like, I don't know what that could mean. It might be, maybe it's a state or a Providence abbreviation. I don't know what that is. I couldn't tell you.
FEARFA.
But yeah, now hearing it out loud, I'm like, oh, weird. Okay.
Also, I don't know. You probably don't have the sound up for the video, but
no, I do not.
During matches, there's this theme song playing.
Okay.
And it's just a banger.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I unmute this. What is... Okay, you know what?
This game is weird.
That can get stuck in my head. This is cool. This is interesting. I was not a FIFA kid growing up. I think like backyard baseball was like the limit of my sports games. But I like the idea here. I think this is cool.
Yeah, and they do nail the aesthetics of like the PS1 era. So yeah,
we love it. Did you just foul yourself after fouling yourself? Is that what just happened? I don't know if I'm watching you play or the opponent play. I'm not sure who's who.
I was the opponent, actually.
Okay, because it looked like they threw the ball back in and then just kicked it right back out of bounds. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not how you play soccer. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty cool.
FEARFA.
Okay. We like FEARFA. What a name, FEARFA.
Yeah.
I love that. With indies, I'm just like, that could be anything. And then you find here, I'm like, got it. Okay.
It's not what you expect. But
at all.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Looks cute. Well, cute's not the word, but
Cute might indeed not be the word.
Yeah. Let me see. What did I play? Oh, I know what I played next. I closed Steam. I didn't mean to do that. I needed that because I forgot the name of the developer, Tofr. Oh my god.
No.
Who made the game? It was S-Bug. I knew that. I knew S-Bug. Here on the CG Danny B channel, we love the game Webbed. We loved it. It was a great game we played through. We had one issue where I soft locked myself, so I had to start the game over. But yeah, it was fun to play through again. There was a part I had to hang and move, and then I dropped that part in the lava, and there was just no way to respawn it, or it wasn't respawning. So I'm like, oh no, I have to start the game over. But anyone who's not familiar with Webbed, it is a 2D platform where the whole thing is you're swinging around as a little spider after your boyfriend gets kidnapped by a giant crow, raven, something like that. So the team over at S-Bug is making a new game. It is called Isopod. It is a webbed spin-off. This game is adorable. I'll start by saying I didn't feel the same charm that I got out of Webbed. It's cute. It's a 3D platformer. The whole thing is like you get a magnet and you turn into your roly-poly. You're an isopod, so you'll just like start rolling down a hill, and if you find something metal, you can activate the magnet, which will just send you flying. So it does have a lot of the same kind of mobility feeling as Webbed, but it being 3D sometimes it can be a little bit more challenging. The demo introduced you to a few different items, like you get the magnet, you'll find some people that are just like, oh, hey, by the way, like I need you to beat up these speakers because they're playing some, I forget what they're playing, some music that's really annoying, so please turn it off. It did get annoying for me as the player too, because there's actual music and then there's the music from these speakers and they're layering over each other. I'm like, shut up. I want one song, not both. So it is the thing to make me want to break them, but I'm like, I don't know how to reach this thing. I can't reach this one. I'm gonna just leave the area. It's really simple. Basically you start, they're like, hey, there's this pipe. It's putting out some sewage. Go break all three things, break the final one, you exit, go through the pipe. And it's like, thanks for playing. So I think it took me maybe like 20-ish minutes as I was trying to explore and do some other side quests. It's a fun platformer. I think I have enjoyed other 3D platformers this Next Fest so far, with like we talked about, we'll go lose Lagoon in there. But like Ruffy's Riverside, like those are both really fun. I really enjoyed Isopod. I want to see more because I forget the name of the spider. Our spider's name was Luca, after Lucas the spider, but you know, the female version, and we love her. Okay. And I know she shows up in this game at some point based on the trailer, so we gotta play it to find her. My mod wrote a whole song about our experience playing Webbed. We love Webbed. It's great. It's adorable. It's on YouTube. I've definitely posted a couple times. Phantom, shout out to you. But yeah, being in the same world, being the same style and going to 3D, I wouldn't mind if I never want to think ahead. Like I want this game to come out, be successful, etc. If this game finishes, does well, and we get another game, I would love to see something closer to Webbed, the original, sticking with the 2D, maybe just more sprite work graphics and stuff. But I did enjoy my time with this. I think this just made me want to play Webbed more than be more excited for Isopod. But again, so excited. Now I'm more excited at the idea of a Webbed 2 than this one. But
I get that. Like just looking at the 3D controls. Reminds me of struggling with Outer Wilds. Yeah. And trying to like move in space. It's giving me that same feeling. Like
it can be tough.
Too many dimensions
Yeah, and even like webbed, the whole thing, right? Like it was you're spinning webs and building webs to crawl on, and like Spider-Man yourself around. Once you got used to it, you could just like swing like you would Spider-Man. You attach a web, fly to the next one, drop, just fly to the next one, just keep yourself moving. Or if you're like, oh, I got to get some collectibles, let's just build the actual, you know, the shape of the web and crawl around and get where I need to go. And cool, simple. So there's all those different things. Right now, with what I've had in the demo, it is a lot of just swing and pray that I land where I need to go, that I'm going fast enough that I'm going to make it over this gap, which is fine. Like if that's the motivation of the game and how it's meant to be played, 100% go for it. But definitely I was like, oh man, this is tough. I'm struggling a little bit, but I'll get there. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, cute
the
game.
visuals are really cool though.
Oh, they're nice.
It looks like you're in a nature documentary.
Yeah, it's. I love the little guy in big world, or again, little character in normal size world. But because you're little, it's great. So like, this aesthetic was everything for me. I do love that. I need more bug games, but yeah, it's fun. So check that one out.
Yeah.
Now, Tofr, what else we got over here? I gotta keep jumping between windows. I'm like, I gotta see what did Tofr have on the list and what footage do I gotta pull up. I don't know.
The game is called Truer Than You.
Okay.
It is a visual novel about love, loss, and being lost in life.
Felt that.
Yeah. You play as Rin, and Rin is someone who just moved to the big city.
Okay.
And is part of like this service where you can hire actors for real life situations.
Okay.
So, for example, the first quest that you can take on, you're free to choose which act you want to do. But the first quest that I did, I was hired by a woman who wanted to meet us randomly and be like, oh, this is my date now.
And we all know we always meet up with random women.
So you go out to the spot where you're supposed to meet them, and you wait there, and then way later than when they were supposed to be there, she shows up with her friends, and she's like, oh my god, who are you? I think I dreamed about you last night. Okay. So you play along and you go to dinner with these people, but then, for example, at the end of that date, you go outside, so it's just the two of you, and she wants to kiss you. The thing is, kissing is not like, you're not playing a sex worker. You're just playing an actor acting in real life scenes. So the thing is, do you kiss her or not? You have to make that choice for yourself, because it wasn't made clear before the game started if you should or not.
Okay.
Most of the dialogue you can will show up in the balloon at the bottom.
Yeah.
But there will be these text bubbles popping up at times as well that you can choose to click.
Ooh.
These will be choices that you can make, but you can choose not to make those choices as well. It's a really, like, I really like this feature. It's a lot of visual novels play with this idea of it, like you have to choose this or that, and this game feels like it's a bit more. There's a bit more of a gray area.
Yeah.
Like, do I do this or not? Maybe. Like, for example, when the girl on the date wanted to kiss us.
Yeah.
There was this balloon popped up that said, I can't do this. But then I didn't click that one, and then a second balloon popped up and said, that's not in the contract, and I clicked that one.
Okay.
and she and then she was all like sad about it, because like she just wanted to have this fantasy last for a little while, and you took her out of that fantasy. So at the end of that date, I only got a 3 out of 5 rating. But since you're part of this service, you have to try and get as high a rating as possible.
Okay.
It's really cool. I'm really curious to see what else happens. I did do a second quest, which was something completely different, and I like that. It feels like there's going to be a lot of freedom to this one, which isn't always the case with visual novels.
Right.
So yeah, I also adore the art style.
It's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm interested because I'm hearing how you're explaining like the choices you get, and it's one of those things. Maybe I have to have my hands on it to fully understand like how the decision matters in one way or the other. But I'm like interesting. I without having my hands on, I can't envision the impact my choice will have. You know, you're like, oh, you did this. So I'm like interesting. I want to feel that. I got to wrap my head around and be like, okay, I see now. I get it. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a cool one though. I like how you're selling me on the uniqueness of my choices mattering, and like, oh, I'm an actor. And listen, I ain't here to bang. I'm just here to contract said, maybe some hand holding, but let's, or like, fuck it. If the actors are in the moment.
I can imagine like if there was a service like this where you actually hire actors for real life situations.
Yeah.
There would be many blurred lines, and I'm curious to find out how the game handles those.
Yeah. Bet. Hell yeah. We love visual novels. They're great.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here we go. Let me pull up the folder.
Yeah.
Topher.
Tell me about this one.
So, my folder's in the wrong order. Give me a second. I gotta find it.
Oh,
Here it is. Okay. We got it. We found it. The footage is loading. Another one that I got a key for early before Next Fest, was Reignbreaker. I think we talked about it last week, where it was just like, oh yeah, it got announced today. I'm like, okay, cool. I've had the key for a while, just haven't had a chance to play it. Reignbreaker is a very Hades-esque type of roguelike, same kind of camera angles. Hold on, that's where I was capturing music. I don't have any fucking footage yet. Super grungy, like neon punk aesthetic to it, which I'm all about. There's just spray paint and graffiti everywhere. It's in that spot of like, okay, what differentiates this type of game from Hades? Where I'm just like, oh, cool, it's Hades in a new coat of paint. But how do I sell it to someone who's just like, why would I not just play Hades? What this one does, it adds a lot of like steampunk-esque mechanics to it. And I say that like, you have a lance, which is your primary weapon. The more you use it, the more like overheated it gets. So when you overheat it, it kind of staggers you so you can't do damage, but you decrease that overheat by doing regular combos. So it's almost like in Hades, if when you go to use a spell, it's like you can't use it again until you hit something normally like 15 times, then you can use it again type deal. So there is like a different way to play as far as like what order I have to use my weapons in. And then the whole thing is you are fighting like the Queen of Keys, who is locked like a bunch of people behind walls, etc. And you're trying to progress by beating up enemies that drop keys, which allow you to unlock bridges to move forward into the bastion, I think is what the world is called. So they just constantly just keys everywhere. Keys are your currency. You get big keys to open doors. And every section of the map, so like in Hades, right, you go in, the enemies spawn, you beat them, you get to choose which door you want to go in. The way Reignbreaker plays is you go in and there are these like pillars. I think some of the rooms I had like 2 pillars is what you need to progress. Some are like you need 2, but there's 3 to choose from, so you can kind of skip one. But you'll open these pillars, and what the pillars will do is initiate a challenge, right? Which is we spawned an enemy, or we spawned a bunch of enemies, beat them. Here's your first key. Go get another one and you'll complete it. So I liked that change of pace where I get a little more option how I want to progress through the world as opposed to just run in, beat stuff up and go. Some are set on timers where it's like you have 35 seconds to beat everything, and I think you might get extra bonuses or you just lose. I didn't lose because I'm just that fucking good. But another cool thing I dig is there's like environmental equipment you can use with your lance. It's like there's your traps on the floor, right? They all have them. There's the big spikes that come out of the ground. But what you could do is some of them you can like stab your lance into, and depending on how you upgrade or which one you have, they'll have different effects. The one that I love the most, I think it's the default one. You can shove your lance into the ground and it becomes like a little minigun that just shoots bullets in like all 8 directions. And it's hectic. And if you're in the right spot, you can shove like 3 or 4 in the ground. So you're just like 3 giant pillars that you just run around and smack enemies as they're all getting shot and lit up and everything. And the other combo with that lance is when you throw it at someone and it jabs into them, they like get affected. It'll just like gurgle for a second and then just pop, 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 pop. Like it's like their chest just starts like to explode for like little shrapnel inside. There's just like a really cool, like my attacks have cause and effects like after the fact, like any of the builds in Hades where I'm like, oh, it's like some damage over time, or like another game like this that I'll talk about next has like you'll throw something at someone and they'll get like aftershock, which after so much time they'll do damage to a certain amount, and et cetera, et cetera. So also the character art's really cool. another like mixture of Renaissance with the cool steampunk stuff, which I'm like, this is a vibe. This is a cool vibe. I like Reignbreaker a lot. It is still very similar to Hades, where there's not a whole lot to be like, oh, the big thing with this one is blah. But it does have the few things I'm like, cool, this isn't just a copy paste. It's not the same style. It's not the same whatever. But it is still like familiar with Hades. You want something fresh. Like Reignbreaker is one to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's coming out soon as well.
I think it's another March one. March 18th, I think, is the date. It's on the list somewhere. Yeah. I dig Reignbreaker. Really cool. Oh, hold on. I got to go back. We have Evangeline. She's great. She's like your hub mother friend. I love her. She's great. She's really cool.
Okay.
She is like, welcome back. Tougher than you thought, huh? You're like, shut up. I know. I'm dying. Let me go again. She's cool.
Right.
Bet. All right, Tofr, what you got next?
The next one I wasn't that excited about after playing it. I didn't finish it either. It's called An Elaborate History of Chess.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound like it will be the most exciting game in the world.
History and chess? I'm good.
But I was curious to see, like, I like the cartoony art style, and I was just wondering, like, how is this gonna play out?
Yeah.
And it turns out it plays a lot like games like Stacklands, for example.
Okay.
Where you start with one thing, and then things keep evolving. They keep adding stuff. So, for example, you start out with a farmer and 4 plots of land.
Okay.
And then you can only move like a chess piece, 1 space at a time.
Okay.
And then you have to pick, like, I think it's turnips. You have to farm those turnips. And then after a while, more spaces will become available. Another farmer will be added. What all of this has to do with chess is very unclear to me.
Okay. I was gonna say, are there like other farmers? Like, oh, this is the king farmer. He moves like a king. This is the knight farmer. He moves like a, or like, you know. I was waiting to see what that was, but apparently we don't know.
No, I have to say I gave up on this one after, I think, maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just because it was moving forward very, very slowly, even for a chess game. I needed a bit more pace. I have other demos to play.
Yeah, felt that.
So I might return to this one like at a time when I'm less busy.
Okay.
Just to see how it evolves, because I am intrigued by the premise. Like the Steam bio says, in true chess tradition, build castles, explore dungeons, farm turnips, and get checkmated by a tree.
Love that.
I mean, that just makes me want to know what happens further along in the game. Also, like, you'd think the game is 2D, but then I discovered that if you hold the right mouse button,
I can spin
it's actually a 3D world.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
This is a weird one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on it for when it comes out, but yeah, it wasn't the demo for this next fest.
Okay. I'm intrigued because I guarantee, like, going through the folder and seeing this one sit there, I'm like, I don't know if I want to check this. I don't know if I'm feeling this one, like, just by the title. I could say, yeah, right now seeing the pacing is probably would be like, ooh, I don't know if I want to play this one. This seems like if this was in the format of a Rusty, where this was like half on my screen while I'm doing anything else, I think I might feel that itch. I don't know yet, but I am intrigued. The footage has me curious as to, like, okay, how could this work?
Yeah,
how could this evolve?
I'm curious as well, but I wasn't curious enough to keep playing for now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Chess, for fucking nerds, fucking dorks. Chess, hate it. Let me see next. Dude, we love games like Hades. Let me talk about another one.
Okay.
This one is called Savara. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I haven't heard it pronounced, but I was sold by the thumbnail of this game. Let me show you real quick what this fucking title screen looks like. No, I don't have it. I gotta go back. No, there we go. It's a cool ass big bug. It's really dope. But yeah, so another Hades like game. I don't entirely remember the lore. It seems like there's like a god who's like, warriors, come and fight in my tournament. The winner will become almighty powerful. Some of the effect, one of those type of deals. again, it's the hard thing of like, okay, it's like Hades, but like, what makes it different? It's I think it's a little closer to Hades than like Reignbreaker was. The way this one works is so you get 2 different weapons. Swapping weapons is usually an attack. So like I was running with the sword and shield, and I guess they'd be like the daggers, just like some short swords type deal. You get 2 of them. And so you'll run in, you'll do some fighting. You beat an enemy, you finish the room, you pick a door. Do you want to get the money? Do you want to get the healing? Do you want to get the increased max health? Do you want to go this type of boon, etc.? Very copy paste Hades. I really like the monster designs in this game. It's a lot heavier than Hades. It's slower, especially with the sword and shield, right? Because like you're watching, I'm doing this like chung chung chung. And this is at the point where I didn't quite understand the swapping between weapons. I thought they were 2 different attacks as opposed to me changing weapons. But there's a light and heavy attack. You do that. This is what I was talking about during Reignbreaker with another game, the Aftershock. Aftershock's fucking busted. So basically on your combo attacks, Aftershock is like, cool, in 5 seconds, this is going to explode. It's going to do 200 damage plus 4% of their total health. So like a lot of enemies, I would run in, smack, smack, smack. I got the combo, run away, and they just look at me like, where are you going, little girl? I'm going to, and they just explode and die. And I'm like, yeah, run your fucking mouth. Keep talking. They didn't actually talk. They were bugs. They didn't do that. But I like this one enough. It seems like if I'm in the itch for Hades and I don't have a Reignbreaker, I don't have another Hades-like roguelike to play, like I could see this scratching that itch. There wasn't enough like uniqueness about it that made me feel like I should tell someone to play this over the other plethora of games like it, again, or even playing it over Hades. It's always hard to find, again, why would I not just play Hades? It really is, I'm sick of Hades, I want to try something new, which I don't know if a human's ever said that in their existence, but it's yeah, it's cool. I like the art style a lot. I like the character designs. I like the enemies for sure, really dope. I want to see if I can find one of these cool bugs. I like the big bugs. Really fun. This is the god dude I was talking about. He like hands out the boons so you can get more health. You can electrify your attacks. You can carry like ham hocks with you, which are your healing. So you're like, oh, I took damage. You stand still, eat for a couple seconds, reheal. You'll get rooms where you can reload those. You'll get mini bosses. I don't think I've gotten to like a big boss. I tried like 3 or 4 runs. After you finish a run, you take the currency, you upgrade your weapons. That very typical stuff. You know, I want to add more, but again, like if you've played Hades, if you played games like this, you know what you're getting into. You're just looking at a new coat of paint for this one.
Okay.
But again, I
do like the visuals on this one, but at the same time, it feels emptier than Reignbreaker, for example.
Yeah, for sure. Each map is very like compact. I feel like you go in, there might be some traps, there might be some walls. But all the levels I played so far are not very busy. It's a very quiet game comparatively to how busy other games of the genre can be. I think at most like 3 or 4 enemies spawn. They just have bigger health bars, so maybe that's why. So it's just like I gotta fight. We'll call them like mini bosses as opposed to mini bosses, but a lot of characters with chunky health bars as opposed to like here's 5 little dudes you gotta beat up. So
yeah,
kind of.
I guess that's why it mentions Souls-like as genre on Steam.
I did not see that. Gross. Never play it again. Hate Souls-likes. No. Yeah. Then that would also explain like the slowness to it, right? Because again, I like the dual swords, the dagger, whatever they're called, because they were definitely the fastest weapon. And their switch attack was like, or their ultimate attack was like a dive in and do like a and do all the damage. So I enjoyed doing that. And like, here's a rune where like, after I did so much damage, it would drop another thing that would give me even more increased damage so that I could run in, grab it. And that was a fun way to just like want to dive in and do more damage as opposed to sit back and do my Aftershock stuff. But I think there's probably more stuff to dive into, more unique builds to have. And that's always fun to discover like what you like to play. This is going to be a, for those interested type of game.
Yeah.
Savara. Cool. So, it's cool. It's cool. Whew. I told we like a lot of games, man. Whew. What else we got on the list here? What's next for you?
My next game is Space Sprouts,
Alrighty.
which is one of the games releasing in March that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay.
It has been on my wish list for a while, and I don't remember where I saw it for the first time.
Yeah.
But I was excited to try out the demo. I didn't spend too much time with it because I played it right before we started recording this podcast. But its premise is really cool.
Okay.
So you are basically someone's grandmother.
My goodness.
Telling her grandchild how she moved from her own planet to the planet they are currently living at.
Yeah.
And she tells this story about how she got there on the spaceship. But the thing is, the trip on the spaceship lasts for 3 minutes. Within those 3 minutes, you get to explore the spaceship as much as you want. You can switch gravity. You can throw things around. Like there's plenty of things that you can do. But after 3 minutes, that's it.
Okay.
And then your granddaughter is like, "Oh, I thought the story was longer." And then you can like take suggestions. Like, for example, there's a radio that you can interact with.
Okay.
And then one of your granddaughter's suggestions when you tell the story again is, did you listen to multiple songs on that radio? And there's plenty of memories that you like can discover with every run through the ship. And it's just it's fascinating to me. Like I've only done 2 runs at the moment, but
Okay.
the more memories you collect, the longer your time on the spaceship will be for your next run.
Okay.
So I'm really curious to see like how much can you stretch that out. Like the thing you're seeing now on the video version is before boarding the ship.
Yeah.
Which is just basically a tutorial on how to use stuff, how to move around.
Okay.
But then on the spaceship, you're just basically let loose in a kind of Metroidvania, I guess you'd call it.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm really curious. I think this is one of those games that where you might not expect it, but you're probably gonna cry.
I don't want to cry. I just want to tell Grandma's tale. Interesting. Yeah, it's one I think I've seen a couple times, but like never really like paid enough attention to be like, oh, it's this. This is a unique one. I didn't know what to make out of it, but I dig it. Do you know how long you've got up to? I know you say you can increase the time the more you go. Did you increase that at all? Or are you like, you just right
yeah,
before
my
the podcast,
my second run I was up from 3 minutes to like 9 minutes.
Okay, shit.
So that's quite a shift. So I'm really curious to see how much longer the trip can become.
Oh, it's gonna be an hour, dude. You're gonna have infinite time. I like this. This is really cool. I like the way this one looks.
Yeah.
Aw. Fucking Grandma's
It
tale.
has piqued my interest, and like it's luckily it only arrives at the end of March.
Motherfuckers.
So I should have some time available.
So really,
to,
it's an April game. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Bet. There's an Ultros energy to it that I really like.
Yeah.
Less grungy and alien looking, but I dig it.
Yeah.
Very cute. Oh, another puzzle game. Let's peep this one. I played Projected Dreams. I'm probably gonna fumble this because I have called this Project Dreams like for the longest time. So if I say Project Dreams, you know I meant Projected Dreams. Okay. But essentially the whole thing is you are living the life of a young girl. You're growing up. You move into the new house. And the entire time you're just playing with shadow puppets of like, I have to make this image that will restore a memory that I've had. And those memories are then depicted through like old photographs. But you have to build an object from that photograph to unlock that memory, which then just unlocks the next level. So like here, there's like a triangle on the floor. All you gotta do is build that, throw it in, be like, okay, cool. I've done that. The shadow puppet's complete. I have the full star. Go on to the next level. And then they'll be like, cool, now I have this. So I got to build a little house. And as they go, there'll be more spots that are, let me pull up some of the longer footage where it's like, here's this weird shape, right? I'm like, okay, what around the room do I have to make that shape? And you'll see there's like, this one's a ball, but like this ball's too big. I have an 8 ball, so it's too big to be this size. What could it be? Oh, wait, but if I look at the rubber duck is both of those shapes combined. I just have to turn on a certain angle. So like it is a matter of just going through drawers and finding what random stuff you have in your room to make it fit. and be like, okay, I've recreated the image, which now gives me the memory to move on to the next one. Sometimes they're really picky. They're like, you're not quite in the shadow. That doesn't count as a full complete. You can end it. You can move on to the next one because you're close enough, but you probably want to go for the 3 stars. I currently haven't seen what's like, if it's just a completionist thing of like, I need the 3 stars. I need it, but like, most of them I was like, let's just line it up. And I would have an item that's just ever so slightly tilting. Like later on, there's a Game Boy. I'm like, this fits. And I know this is not what's supposed to go here, but it fits the shape. So I'd put down the Game Boy, put the thing on top, and it would immediately start to lean. So I'm like, hover. It's like, you complete it. I'm like, okay, next level. And then as I hit next level, the whole thing falls over because it's not the right shape. Like, it's fine. It's fine. We beat the level. We did it.
Nice.
But it's fun. It's one of those unique puzzle games of just like, what shapes can I get out of it? What all can I find to throw things together? Eventually you'll have like, it's one light, but it's coming from 2 sources and you have 2 separate tables. So like you have to build on one table to make half the shape and then build on another table to make the other. So like here, they're like, there's a Furby, but I have to put this Furby on top of something, but I can see it layers with this item, and there's vertical and horizontal depth, but not, I guess you have an X and a Y axis, but no Z axis to move on. So you're like, okay, these obviously can't overlap each other. So I have to figure out, what do I have to put here that won't affect the shape of the shadow, that will affect the shape of the other part of the shadow type deal. So it's fun. It's just got a fun, unique, chill vibe to it. Some levels got harder. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I feel like I'm just wasting my time doing nothing. And then eventually we just come across it. But I wouldn't mind a hint system. There wasn't anything like that where it just felt like maybe I'm grabbing the wrong thing. It's not going to fit here. And then eventually we just come across it. But I wouldn't mind something like that. And then like, here, we build it. Oh my God, the memory of my cat. Got it. So they're cute. There's cute little photographs. Yeah, I like this one. It was really fun. I think my concern will be when the full thing comes out, if I have to like replay these same like 7 or 8 levels, I'm like, oh, right, I gotta remember what these ones did. I think that's one of those like weird niche things to be concerned with getting into like the full game when it comes out. But if we do the same levels, but they're sparsed out with other things in between, I think I'll be fine. But yeah, Projected Dreams.
Okay.
Another
I think
cute
this
one.
might be something for like people who enjoyed what's it called again? Where you have to put everything neatly.
Fucking.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh my God, what's it called?
I'm thinking unpacking, but
No.
the orderize your shit, the OCD game. What's that fucking game?
What was it called?
Game about organizing things. A little to the left.
Yes,
A little to the left. Yeah. First thing that came up. Okay. That's a good one. Little left's fun. I was struggle busting. I was like, I know it, Tofr. I gotta find it. Anyway.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
I have one more game.
Okay.
One that I did not play myself, but I watched a friend of the show, Daphne, play it.
Daphne, hello. Daphne.
Yes. It's called Solarpunk.
Babette?
It's the new game by Cyberwave, who are currently going slightly viral with a game about digging a hole. That seems to be popping off everywhere.
Okay.
You haven't heard of this one?
I don't think I have.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I'll look like, oh, that one? Cyberwave? Hold on.
I've seen like
a game about,
play it.
okay, that's the name of the game.
It's called the game about digging a hole.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I've seen this one.
I thought so.
I had to sit there, I was like, I don't know, that sounds, no, okay. And then you see, I'm like, oh, visually, never mind. I got it. I know this one. Interesting. All right.
So yeah, Solarpunk is probably the bigger game that they're working on.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest survival game fan, but this one looks really cool. It's set in this world of floating islands, and in the demo, you wake up on this island and you have nothing there except like a few tools to start out with. You can chop wood, you can make an axe, you can make other tools that you can use to build more stuff. Like your typical survival game fare, I guess. But the thing is, you can like keep building until you can start automating things. So in the demo, once you've built the airship station, you can take off and fly to another island, just like that. A bit like you can do in No Man's Sky. Like, you can see the island, you can just go straight there. And on one of these islands, you can find like all of these automation tools that allow you to use solar energy, water energy, and wind energy to power your machines. And then everything starts working automatically, making your life easier. And it's really satisfying. Like, I asked Daphne her thoughts on this, and she was really enthusiastic about it. She, like, gameplay felt really intuitive, and it scratched that itch that many people feel when it comes to survival games. It's not too difficult like some other survival games, but it gives you a lot of freedom. And looking at the trailer and seeing what these islands can become, knowing that you start out with nothing but you and a chicken being stuck on an island is really cool.
This is one I've many times said survival games aren't my thing. I'll get the itch for Minecraft or the occasional one. This one looks like my thing. This one looks really good. This looks like one that I could get lost in. And like, I've seen it on the page. I just didn't download it. I'm like, survival game, you know. But like watching it, the visuals and the color palette reminds me a lot of Outbound, you know, the build your van and live around in the wild type deal. Like, I'm really excited for that. And this looks just like that and then you put punk in the title, which I'm like, hold on, I like a little bit of punk. That's pretty cool. Dude, it looks quaint. Like, there's just something really relaxing about this one. And
it really is.
In Minecraft, I'm the guy who likes to build the house. I'm like, you guys are good at the diamond and shit. I want to build the house. And like, this feels like one I could sucker Connor into playing. Not even sucker. Like, I think Connor could be into it because Connor's like, we play Minecraft. I'm like, maybe someday. I could be like, hey man, I'm into this one. If you're into it, let's give it a shot. And Connor's like, I'm gonna get shit. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna build the house. You go do that. I'm gonna stay here and automate shit. Yeah, this one. Yeah. I think this is a vibe for me. I think I'm gonna check this one out.
Yeah, the demo is single player only.
Okay.
But the full game will have co-op.
Bet.
But yeah, it looks like a really relaxing time, and the demo is 1 to 2 hours long as well.
Okay.
So there's plenty to dive into already.
Good deal. Bastards, get me with a survival game. This one in March or?
There's only it only says 2025 on the Steam page.
Good. Stay away for now. Oh, bet. Timestamp. Don't forget those. All right. I'm now on to my last game, and I have been playing Spray Paint Simulator, which another one I got beforehand. Finally got to play it. I actually planned to cover it like last week. It just everything else is going over. But anyone who's played Power Wash Simulator, it's the same thing but the opposite. It's really cool. You go into the game, you get tasks. People are like, hey, I need you to spray paint my vintage car. The thing I think I like the most about this compared to Power Wash Simulator is the prep and I guess cleanup of every job. Where like you go and you get this car, right? And unlike Power Wash Simulator where you just want to take all the dirt off, like there's nothing to not clean. There are things you don't want to paint. So like you have to go to the store and buy masking tape and special paper so that when you go to the car, you're like, I got to cover the grill. I got to cover any of the vents. I got to cover the headlights. I got to take off the mirrors so they're not getting spray paint. I got to take off the license plates so they don't get affected. And then you just go to town spray painting it. The customers will say, I want this car to be this specific shade of orange. And you have to do that to get the right score. I didn't try to paint it wrong. I don't know if it even lets you. You probably can, and you'll just not get the pay you're supposed to. Or they'll make you repaint it, which will take so fucking long. But once you finish a project, you get the option to free paint. Then you get the same object, no rules. You just go to town doing whatever. So if you want this car to be blue, you can go do that. I probably would have done that if I didn't spend 3 or 4 hours spray painting this game already. The 2 levels you have, there's a car and then a kitchen. One of the hardest things I think playing this, I'm like, oh my God, this thing looks so fucking ugly. There's no way this thing is going to look good by the time I'm done. There's no possible way it can look good. And then you take off the tape, you put this up back, like, you know what? This looks pretty good. That was especially for the kitchen. And I'll show the kitchen. I love blue. I'm like, oh my God, all these blue kitchen cabinets look so bad. This is gonna look awful. And like, I know the walls were yellow before I taped them up and everything. And then let me see, do I have it? I want to see the final result when I take everything off. Yeah, you start to remove all the tape and the cover. Like, actually, hold on. That's a pretty nice kitchen. I like the way that looked. Nice yeah, it's that same, just, I was gonna say rinse and repeat, but literally again, quite the opposite. But you get in the world, here's the task, you do the task. When you're done with the task, you move on to the next one. I had such a great time with it. There's a lot of those differences of like, Power Wash Sim does this, but Spray Paint Sim does this. And you're like, wow, what do I like more? But I think if you're a fan of one, you'll be a fan of the other as well. You can also customize your suit, which I didn't do until after, so I never did a level with it. I did find it a little bit more tedious to play this one with how to aim. Like, I think with Power Wash, you're cleaning stuff off, so it's a lot easier to just remove things. I think with Spray Paint Simulator, I often found I'm like spraying, and the visual effect for the overspray would make it look like I was spraying a section that just wasn't getting covered. And I think that might be a combination of like, oh, I don't have enough money to get the right nozzles yet. And the early levels are going to do that, and it'll probably be better later. But then there's also like 4 levels of crouching. So there's like full stand, 3/4, half, and then all the way down. But even all the way down isn't super low. So like in the kitchen, I'm like, I have to get under these baseboards, but I physically can't. So I kind of have to line up and just spray forward and then spam the button that shows what needs to be painted yet until I don't see the light anymore. I'm like, okay, I think I finally got it. So that happened a lot. It was definitely a different pace from Power Wash Sim, but I still was like in it. I still had a great time just doing the damn thing. And just in the trailers, like I know there's like giant robots you're going to get to paint. There's other houses. I think there's like factory warehouses and stuff. Like there's going to be a whole bunch of shit. And I just hope this gets anywhere near the amount of DLC that Power Wash Sim does with Final Fantasy and SpongeBob and Tomb Raider and whatever other crossovers they have. Like I would love to spray paint like the fucking turtle house from God of War or some crazy shit like that. Give me the fucking the shot from Moonlighter. Let me spray paint that bitch. That'd be cool as shit. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, Power Wash Sim fans, keep an eye on this one. The demo's out. I don't know if we have a date for this one yet. I think it's just 2025.
I think so, yeah.
I'm double checking. I just got to make sure it's not March. It's gonna be quarter 2 25. So we're talking April to July is when we're expecting this one. So not too far out. But yeah, nice. Spray Paint Sim. Tofr, that's all the demos we've played so far.
Yes.
So, and dude, we're only at 2 hours. So let's quickly talk about what we have. We've already played, what we still want to play. You just want to like rattle through your list of demos you still have downloaded you want to check out?
Yeah, let's go for it. Like this is only a fraction of the demos I've actually downloaded, but whatever. I definitely want to give Reignbreaker a try. That you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
The Horror at Highbrook is another one that I want to check out. This is a hang on.
It's another one I've downloaded. I forget.
It's an occult card crafting narrative RPG. So it's a bit similar to Cult Simulator. I think that's what.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's the new game from Witchbeam. Tempopo, which is something very different from Unpacking.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. It's a musical game where you have to collect musical flowers to restore the harmony to your garden. So,
it's giving My Singing Monster. For anyone who's played that on your phone, it's very similar to that, just a lot cuter.
Okay. Then there's also Flocking Hell.
Yep.
Which is another fun one. I have to check because I don't remember everything about them.
Yeah, it's one I have downloaded. I think it was on one of my comment sections on Blue Sky. I was like, yeah, check out my game. Like, looks cool. I'm down.
Yeah, it's a strategic roguelite where you have to defend your pasture from demonic invasion. It looks cool.
Yeah.
So I want to give it a chance. There's Kabuto Park, which is the new game from the people who made Minami Lane. And it's all about bugs, collecting bugs, making them fight, I think, as well.
Oh, they fighting?
I think so.
Oh, dude. Let's go.
I think it's in card-based battles as well.
No shit. Of course. Yeah, sure. At first thumbnail I see. Yep.
Then Is This Seat Taken, which you've mentioned before on the podcast, is another one I want to give a go. Promise Mascot Agency, the new game from the devs of Paradise Killer, where you are a Yakuza who's been exiled to the strange town where mascots are actual living creatures. It's super weird, but I'm into it. As We Descend is another really good looking roguelike deck builder. Game Not Over is a Vampire Survivors like mixed with some deck building as well, and it's all set within the world of video games, which I think is pretty cool.
Okay, this one sounds cool.
Yeah. Riff is a whatchamacallit? A minimalist tower defense game.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word minimalist.
Oh yeah, it's little stuff.
Yeah. Then there's Duck Detective: The Ghost of Glamping, the sequel to the first detective game.
Yeah.
And Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer, another sequel to another detective game that I'm really looking forward to.
Hell yeah.
And finally, I want to mention Goodlands, which is a game about digging for fossils, but you are dinosaurs.
I had to know. I just looked that one up. I'm like, wait, is this from the Short Hike team? It looks just like Short Hike.
Looks like it, right?
Yeah, well, I guess this is their debut game. It's the first thing that's on there, unless it's got some of the team and it's one of those new studio type deals. But yeah, it looks like Short Hike, but dinosaurs, and that's really cool.
Yeah. And it's a game about dinos digging up dinos. That's what they call it.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm excited for that one. Let me see. For my still to play, obviously the top of the list is MonsterCon. I have that downloaded. I love Monster Prom. We just did our book club. I'm very excited to check out MonsterCon. I was talking to my buddy LB, and she loves the Monster Prom games as well. So I'm excited to hear what she thinks about the new one when it comes out. Also have Tempo Po. I'm going to check that one out. Unyielder is this insane over the top first person shooter. It looks really cool. Everhood 2 has a demo, which anyone who hasn't seen, it's this like Guitar Hero-esque RPG where like the combat is you jumping from different lines of music to like avoid attacks and then do damage and everything. It looks really cool. Aethermancer, a very like Pokemon-esque RPG that I'm trying to find like the fucking defining thing. I'm like, yeah, it's very different from this. Maybe it's just the sprites are fucking dope. It's like really sick ass monsters and shit. I've been following this one, I think, on TikTok for a while, but Aethermancer looks sick. I was even going to compare it to like Cassette Beast, but even like that's not doing it justice for like the cool sprite work. Like it's really dope looking. Also, Cassette Beast looks great too. Just different vibe. Also have Kabuto Park. I'm excited to make bugs fight. An Amazing Wizard, I think is like platform. I forget if this one's a roguelike or not. It is. Yep, action roguelike. So think Dead Cells, but wizard. So very cool. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, I think is like a survivors like based off Lost in Random, which was a game that came out a couple years ago from EA Originals. And the last one I have is a visual novel called I Drink Sorrow Coffee to Reboot Reality, but I'm being hunted by monster girls and armed agents. This is one of those ones where I saw it. I'm like, let's do this one. Let's do this visual novel this year. That's the plan.
Yeah, I looked it up before we started recording. I was like, is this one of those, one of the naked ones? I think it might be.
Oh, is that a naked one?
There is like a mention of sexual content.
I mean, I guess if I look at fucking like this one, right? Like we fucking, there's no nudity here, but like we got the, the boobies pressed against the glass type deal. Like we know that's going on. Then we got the baddie in the tucked in white shirt with the tie. I'm like, she gonna have a chokehold on me. I know it. You got the girl in the barista fit, and we all know the barista, she got a gun. What do you want me to do? I'll do it. I get it. So we'll see. We'll capture some footage, and if there's nudity, you guys just won't see it unless you play for yourself. So, but no, I'm interested in this one for sure. I want to see what the vibe is, and we'll see if I like it, but I definitely want to check it out. Plus, it has the long anime title thing going on, so like, okay, well, now we gotta see. We gotta see.
Yeah.
Bet. That's what we want to play at this Steam Next Fest. I'm thinking, Tofr, man, we have what we've been playing. Do we want to like rapid speed that. I know you have a review. I'm playing mine on stream, so it might be easy to be like plug the thing we talked about, unless you really want to talk about your game.
Maybe that's a good idea.
Good deal.
I think that's a good idea.
Good deal. Okay.
So if you want to know what my thoughts are on Cabernet, which is a really cool looking vampire role-playing game, I'd say.
Okay.
Go over to somanygames.co.uk and read my review. It's a really good one. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Whoa. So, high score. Hell yeah. I haven't checked that one out yet. Key provided, by the way, just in case we didn't do the whole thing, so just to mention. No sweat, just, we didn't do our typical thing, so I'm like, gotta make sure we cover our bases. Meanwhile, I have been playing Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. After playing 3, that was super bug-ridden and made me really not enjoy the game at that point. 4 is doing a much better job. I'm enjoying Chapter 4 so far. I had a few moments of checkpoints that I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Where like, I finished a major objective, the big thing caught me and I died, and then it made me restart to do that objective again. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm gonna hate this so much. But we got through it. We powered through. I have to say I'm probably like halfway through the chapter. As of this episode going out, I should be finishing the chapter tonight on Twitch. So if you want to watch that, come hang out with us, twitch.tv/CJNB as I finish the rest of chapter 4. Fuck you, Yarnaby. You're cool, but you're a baby ass bitch. But yeah, that's what we've been playing. Also, I got some redacted, but you don't know about that yet. Easy quiet over there. You'll find out.
What hasn't been mentioned in the document is Lost Records.
You're right. I did not put Lost Records in there. We'll have to. Oh man.
Just tell me, don't not do it again.
They did again. I don't know if they did it again, but they did again. Okay. It's fun. Okay. I enjoy Lost Records. I'm holding like full thoughts and opinions until like April. I didn't love Lost Records. I thought it was fine. I think there were a lot of like stalling moments. There's a few moments like the main character, you're like, I'm in my room. I'm going out with my friends, but I got to collect my stuff. And you got to move the cat who's sleeping on the chest. And how do I move the cat? I got to find the cat food. Where the fuck's the cat food? Someone pops in like, hey, I just finished. I'm like, hey, new guy, where's the fucking cat food? We're like, go check in the corner. I'm like, found it. Great. We got through that. I felt those really came to a crawl.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the characters. It's the weird thing where like, I can't say like I was so excited to have gay teenage girls be excited about each other because that just seems like a weird thing to be excited about. But like it was cute. I enjoyed the interactions for them. The one girl Nora has some terrible acne, and I had someone in chat just like, "Oh my god, what?" I'm like, come on, she's a teenager, let her live. Yeah. But it was still a funny bit because it's everywhere. It's a lot of acne, but. No, I like the game. Again, I didn't love it like I love Life is Strange 1. Again, that was 5 chapters to the 1 chapter I played, which is half the game. So I'll see if I'm a little more jazzed for the rest of it when it comes out in April. But yeah, I like Lost Records. It's a fun time. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go, team. Play some Lost Records. It's on PS Plus if you have the collection, the catalog. So play it. Yeah. And then real quick, we'll hop into the indie releases this week. We're talking the week of February 27th through March 5th. We have Moon's Creed coming out February 28th for PC and Early Access. We have Everhood 2 coming out on March 4th for Switch and PC. We have Grimoire Grove coming out March 4th for PC. 2 Point Museum coming out on March 4th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And then we have Nights in Tight Spaces on March 4th for PC. March 4th, busy day. And that's just the start of the month, game. Busy day.
It is. It is. It's only getting worse.
Only getting worse. There's so many games in March. So many fucking games. But yeah, any of those you're like jazzing for? One you want to check out?
Oh, absolutely. Grimoire Groves. I backed on Kickstarter.
Oh, bet.
It's a really fun looking, like, it reminds me kind of Cult of the Lamb, but like more wholesome. Because you have to like rebuild the groves from the title for your Coven of Witches.
Okay.
But there's also combat. And in which you can use spells and stuff like it. It's colorful. It looks charming. The demo was a lot of fun. So yeah. Okay. Really excited for that one. And then Nights in Tight Spaces.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I might shoot an email for my Nights in Tight Space, see if we can get some codes because I want to play that one. I want to play that one bad. Yeah. That and Everhood. I'm excited for Everhood. I never finished Everhood 1, so I'm hesitant to jump into 2 without finishing it because there's a big like. We'll say a plot twist, where all of a sudden things happen. Like, oh, I thought it was at the end, but I'm not at the end, and then shit happens. That's kind of where I stopped, and I was like, fuck, I need to get back to it. But yeah, I'm excited for Everhood. It looks cool. Oh, man. And then real quick for our indie spotlight, games that are underrated or upcoming games that we haven't seen a lot of people talk about that you should keep your attention on. I want to talk about Toodee and TopDee. It is this really cool. I probably should have pulled this up beforehand, but I didn't because it's 2 hours.
It's fine.
It's fine, right?
It's fine. It's fine.
I feel like I have to mention I didn't receive a key for a review for this one, but I won it on like a Twitter comment thread thing. They like posted the key hidden within an image. I'm like, oh, wait, that's a Steam key. Oh, I got the game, bet. So I did receive it for free, but not with the intention of review. So just something to note. But it is a combo of a 2D and a 3D platformer. You play as two characters. There's Toodee, who does the 2D platforming, and then you have TopDee, who does the top-down stuff. As TopDee, you'll move platforms around so that 2D can travel how they need to. Some will be portals, some will just be boxes to climb on. Sometimes you have like boss chase levels where as you're running away, you'll switch to TopDee, who will move stuff out of the way, and then 2D can make it through, and you'll switch dimensions. It's really fun. Think of like the Super Paper Mario, I think was the Wii one. We had to like jump in different dimensions. It's very much like that. It's a fun one. I enjoyed what I played at this one, and I think more people should check it out.
Cool.
And that.
It does look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I don't think I got super far. I completed like the first world. I'm like, this is fun. I'm going to get back to it. And you know the excuse is always something to play. There's so much shit. But yeah, check out 2D and TopDee. Timestamp. Tofr, we're done here. It's been a long ass episode. We're gonna do the same thing next week, and talk about some more. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But anything you want to tell the Gooberinos before we head out of here?
I am covering Next Fest for so many games as well.
Oh, yeah?
There's an article on my first day of my day spent with demos on the website, and on the YouTube channel. I made a list of 20 games that you need to check out from this Next Fest.
Absolutely. Do it, team. Check out that video. I should have reposted on my Instagram story, which by the time you're seeing this is probably already... No, I mean, if you watch it right away. It might not be on the story anymore, but it's on the Instagram so you can find it. So do that. And then, of course, you guys can find me at CJNB everywhere. Again, tonight we'll be doing some Poppy Playtime. Friday, it's not indie, but we're going to play a fuck ton of Monster Hunter Wilds, baby. Let's go. So I can't wait. I'm excited for that. But, yeah. Anything else? Bet. I need some water. Good night, everybody. See you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.